Let's get started.
All right, everybody.
Oh.
Yeah, let's get started with that.
Yeah,
Let me turn down my game a little bit.
Yeah, let's get started.
It
with
is
this
loud.
Shit. Boy meets Mini.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Politics editor at Politico, Sally Goldenberg, and Telemundo 47 anchor, Rosarena Breton.
Is that working? You got enough
This is
audio
a
there?
2-hour debate
Yeah, we're good.
live on all NBC
2 hours.
and Telemundo 47 streaming and digital platforms, Politico.com, Telexitos, and YouTube. The first hour is also live on Channel 4 and Telemundo 47. We do have a few rules for the candidates. For traditional question and answer, you'll have 1 minute to respond, and we'll offer 30-second rebuttals at the moderator's discretion. We'll also be asking questions where we will be looking for shorter answers. We also reserve the right to cut off your microphone if you ignore the rules, but candidates, you know we don't want to do that. The goal is for you to hear each other and for New Yorkers to hear everything you have to say. Good luck. We'll begin with Melissa Russo.
Thank you, David, and good evening, gentlemen. Thank you for being here. We begin tonight by asking you to do what every mayor dreams of, and that is to write your own headlines. Imagine it's January 2027, and you have been in office for exactly 1 year. We would like you to quickly give us one headline about what you think your biggest accomplishment will have been in year number 1. We'll begin with you, Mr. Cuomo.
First, thank you very much for sponsoring the debate and having all of us. The one headline, how many characters in the headline?
You know, you're familiar with headline length.
Rent down, comma, crime down, comma, education scores up, comma,
What is this?
more jobs in New York City.
Now we're getting maybe a little.
Comma.
This guy
Optimism
when this guy was fucking governor and Bill de Blasio was mayor, and he was doing all that exact same shit that he was that he's saying that he's gonna fucking do. He did literally everything possible to get in the way of Bill de Blasio, from lowering the rent, freezing the rent, and all this fucking bullshit. It's complete fucking nonsense. Yeah, he's full of it.
Mm-hmm. In a sense, he's trying to copy Mamdani, or at least get some of it, you know. So yeah, it's
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
All right, let's hear the rest of what
Mr.
Cuomo has to say. I'll speed it up.
Curtis Sliwa is without his iconic red beret because I'm talking to the people of New York City about the really serious and obviously what I spent most of my life doing, which is public safety in the streets and the subways.
We would love a headline from you. What will your headline be? Your big headline in year number 1 as mayor.
Curtis Sliwa exceeds all expectations and looks very mayoral tonight.
Mr. Mamdani, you've had some time to think about it. Now, what's your headline?
It's a pleasure to be here. First
Thank
of all,
you,
I really
Curtis.
want to thank the moderators and the opportunity to speak directly to New Yorkers about this moment in time and our opportunity to transform the most expensive city in the United States of America. The headline would read in about a year, Mamdani continues to take on Trump, delivers on affordability agenda for New Yorkers.
Thank you, Mr. Mamdani. Sally?
Thank you, Melissa. We're going to talk about leadership. Voters have reservations about all three of you as chief executive of New York City, a city with
two other shits, I have to say. Like, Cuomo was just like LARP shit, stuff that he's definitely lying about, and then I don't know. The Sliwa is just Sliwa.
Sliwa.
He's just listen. For him, it's his autistic fixation. Okay, it's all good. Listen, I have no qualms with Sliwa. He just has his fixation. It's okay.
Yeah, he's got his little red hat wearing cult, you know, keeping the subways safe or whatever, right?
Quote unquote, keeping the subway safe.
Yeah, they haven't exactly been had a clean slate on that at all. But anyways, yeah. So I guess the next question is, who is equipped to lead New York City?
300,000 employees and a budget bigger than many countries. We have questions for each of you, and Mr. Cuomo, we will begin with you. As a former governor of New York, you obviously have the management experience. But you resigned from office amid sexual harassment and COVID-related scandals. Why should voters now trust that you have the character to be mayor? You have 1 minute.
Good. Well, thank you very much, and thank you for the question. First, you are right. I left office. There was a report that was done that had allegations of harassment. I said at the time it was a political report, and that there was no basis to it. It was then sent to 5 district attorneys. They all reviewed it. They found nothing. It was then litigated for 5 years. I was dropped from the cases. So none of that came to anything. When it comes to executive experience, I've run the Department of Housing and Urban Development, built housing all across the nation. I was governor for 11 years. The budget is double what it is in New York City, and I got government to work. I passed groundbreaking laws, minimum wage, paid family leave, built projects that had never been built before. This is no job for on-the-job training. And if you look at the failed mayors, they're ones that had no management experience. Don't do it again.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah,
In the theme of leadership.
Yeah, literally, this is coming from the fucking guy who is not going to mention any of the gynecological records that he covered up. Also, the reason why he didn't pass anything in terms of legislation is, and everyone needs to fucking remember this, there was a... so New York is a blue supermajority state. There is the state legislature and everything is Democrat all across the board. Fucking this man, Andrew Cuomo, to basically make it such that he doesn't pass any of the overwhelming progressive legislation that the state legislature, because all that shit he was saying, yeah, it's fucking hooey. He's lying. He didn't pass like any of those fucking policies. He basically made it such that part of the Democratic caucus within the state legislature is forced to vote along with Republicans in order to make it such that a lot of those measures would fail within the state legislature, which means they don't get fucking implemented because he doesn't want to deal with the political consequences similar to that of Gavin Newsom of vetoing overwhelmingly positive, popular progressive legislation. Majority Report talks about this. Basically, this deal that he made with Republicans. I forget the name of the committee exactly. Majority Report has mentioned it before. But basically, to make it such that he doesn't pass any of this overwhelmingly very pro-progressive legislation, he basically made a part of his party within New York vote alongside with the Republican Party. Like, that's like this whole fucking shtick. He's completely full of it. He's not actually progressive whatsoever. And he's an incredibly petty fucking loser.
Oh yeah, and just like his dad. I mean, his dad the mayor of New York City at some point?
No, governor
the governor of New York. Yeah, Mario Cuomo was governor of New York before too. It's a dynasty, and a dynasty we hate. And Aglor, good to see you over in we're shared chat now, but good to see you, Aglor. Yes, we are covering the debate, or rather the I wanted to call it the Mamdani debate because that's technically what it is. It's like everyone against him.
No, I don't think Sliwa's gonna attack Mamdani all that much. He doesn't get.
That's true.
Yeah, he doesn't benefit much at all from attacking Zohran. Like, why would he? Zohran voters are not going to go over to vote for Sliwa. It's not going to happen.
No. Yeah, that's true. Anyways, I think Sliwa's up next. I think that's
Mr. Mamdani, you work as a foreclosure prevention counselor for winning seat in the state assembly. You have no substantial management experience. How are you ready to lead the nation's largest and greatest city in the world in one day? You have a minute.
You know, I have the experience of having served in the New York State Assembly for 5 years and watching a broken political system, the experience of seeing a governor in Andrew Cuomo who would rather have served his billionaire donors and the working class New Yorkers who voted for him, and the experience amidst all of that of fighting and winning for working class taxi drivers to free them from predatory debt and delivering the first free bus lines in New York City history, and working with unions and working class New Yorkers to finally raise taxes just that little bit on Mr. Cuomo's donors to start to fully fund our public school. And more than that, I have the experience of being a New Yorker, someone who has actually paid rent in the city before I ran for mayor, someone who has had to wait for a bus that never came, someone who actually buys his groceries in this same city. And what all of that experience has shown me, which Mr. Cuomo can't seem to understand, is that it is far too expensive and far too hard for New Yorkers to afford to live in this city. And the definition of experience is not doing the same thing again and again and hoping for a different result. That's actually the definition of insanity.
Thank you, Mr. Mamdani.
If I can, I think I was invoked. Yes. In other words, what the Assemblyman said is he has no experience. And this is not a job for someone who has no management experience.
He literally fucking lowered the prices for fucking bus lines and made more people go on the fucking buses. And he's going to do that policy throughout the entirety of the fucking city. Like, again, this is the same motherfucker who has to come in from the suburbs of New York and live in his fucking daughter's swanky fucking inner city fucking apartment in order to even be able to run in this fucking mayoral election. He has no fucking idea about, like, the plight of the average fucking New Yorker. He doesn't give a fuck about any of that stuff. Again, same motherfucking dude who let COVID ravage through fucking elderly care, nursing homes. Yep. Same dude who fucking also sued 13 women for their fucking gynecological records. Like, it's complete fucking hooey.
Absolutely. And the other thing, like, just as a parallel, because I'm in Los Angeles, right? You know, the second biggest city in America. And we have a similar problem with, you know, a lot of leadership here. Like, a lot of them come from, like, the richest zip codes of LA metro area, or they live in, like, you know, Ventura County, which is, like, northwest of the city, right? That's, like, going toward Santa Barbara. Like, they'll be, like, from there or something, or they'll be from, like, Orange County. So they don't really represent us as, like, Angelinos. I think Karen Bass might be the exception, although she's not a great mayor at all. She's a lot like Gavin Newsom in a way. So in LA, the problem is like a lot of the policy that like city council does, which by the way, for a city our size, we only have 15 city council seats. That's crazy. Like New York has way more than that, I think. But yeah, we only have 16 or 15 city council seats for like 4 million people. Like we're one of the most underrepresented cities, places in the country, just on all levels of government. It sucks. So yeah, and I don't know. I view Cuomo the same way I view Newsom. They're kind of the same.
Well, basically, yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, Cuomo, you're not equipped.
People, no financial experience to run $115 billion budget. He literally has never had a job. On his resume, it says he interned for his mother. This is not a job for a first-timer. Any day, you could have a hurricane, you have, God forbid, a 9/11, a health pandemic. If you don't know what you're doing, people.
I don't think you want to bring up a health pandemic, Cuomo. I don't think you want to bring that up there, buddy. You got fucking sued for that shit, my man. I don't think you want to bring up COVID at all. I hope a fucking Mamdani checks him on that. It's like, literally, you let a fucking virus ravage nursing homes, you fucking dumbass. I don't think you want to say that, little buddy. It's not a good look. It's not a good look.
That was a miss, and New Yorkers are gonna see that and be like, "Well, really, dude? Yeah, it's like you're one to talk, you know." He really is one to talk on a lot of this stuff.
True.
New Yorkers turn back to the governor who sent seniors to their death in nursing homes. That's the kind of experience that's on offer here today. What I don't have in experience, I make up for in integrity, and what you don't have in integrity, you could never make up for in experience.
He's got those South Indian movie dialogue lines down. It's so good.
Yeah, yep.
Get your popcorn out, people. This guy can make it really far in the Tamil film industry. He would absolutely kill it there.
Many people are saying this.
Anyways, yeah. Okay, are they going to go to Sliwa now? I think so.
First, what you said was totally false, as you know.
Oh, no, it's a
which part was false?
During COVID, everyone did whatever they could in this state. And there have been numerous investigations where they've gone through it, and they said we follow the federal guidance. But yes, people died during COVID, and my heart breaks for everyone that broke
lying.
Again.
He's just lying. Like, it's just a lie. He's full of it.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, you'll say, well, the federal guidelines weren't good enough. Well, yeah, the federal guidelines weren't good enough. Biden messed up there too. He made them too lenient.
He was trying to go off.
Yeah.
No, it's not that Biden necessarily messed up. The problem is that he was building off of a foundation that was non-existent. That's the main problem. Because Trump initially fucking fucked up the COVID response completely by basically saying, just do nothing, forehead.
Yeah, I mean, Biden may have. Yeah, that's true. I think Biden kind of made some concessions to companies who wanted to reopen their offices and stuff because, they have, they don't want their offices sitting empty, but it's like there's a pandemic going on, priorities. Other than that, though, yeah, a lot of the stuff that happened in New York was because of this guy. Like, I don't think Cuomo realizes that a lot of the stuff that came down from the CDC and the federal government had to be handled at the state level. Ball was in his court. The ball was in every governor's court, during the, the initial waves of the pandemic. And of course now it's endemic. Lovely. Yep. I love it here. Anyways. Oh boy.
That died in this state and across this nation.
But just to be clear, Mr. Just to fact check that, there is a criminal investigation reportedly underway at the DOJ about your testimony to Congress about your nursing home record.
Yeah, but that is a political issue with the Congress. They made a referral, which has gone absolutely nowhere. But there have been multiple investigations where the DOJ found that the nursing home investigation was politically motivated.
Okay, we're going to move on. We might.
Politically motivated? Dude, he sounds like Trump. Like every time he says something, I want to say it in Trump voice.
It's all motivated. I mean, they're cut from the same cloth. Like, of course he sounds like Trump. It's all the same.
Yeah, from that New York sort of real estate mafioso plot. Yeah.
Have time to come back to it. I do need to move on to Mr.
May I just finish my rebuttal? But the Assemblyman still says he has no experience to do the job.
Okay.
He didn't say he had no. Oh my God, dude.
It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Like, again.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's as AOC says. Like, if you have experience, it doesn't mean fucking jack if people can't pay their fucking bills. And under his stewardship and leadership, as a disgraced fucking governor who had to resign, people are still not able to pay their bills. Like, his policies are directly a consequence of that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this is like talking to most LA liberal politicians. This is what Cuomo reminds me of. I'm like, man, this is all we got here. Like, we got like 2 progressives on the city council, and it sucks because their votes always get overridden. So,
Thank you, Mr. Cuomo. Mr. Sliwa, as founder of the Guardian Angels and as a radio host, you've been a well-known figure in New York City for decades. But you also lack substantial management experience. So how are you prepared to be the chief executive officer of New York City? You have 1 minute.
I hate this question. Like, again, I wouldn't vote for Sliwa, but again, you see how much I hate this question?
Having experience is more or less irrelevant. Like, what matters in politics is if you're able to speak to a crowd of people, if you're able to, like, try to do everything possible politically in order to fucking get into well, not into power always, but also to advocate for your positions and bring about your agenda. Like, Trump had no experience in politics whatsoever, and he's the current president of the United States. Like, it's a stupid, irrelevant question. Like, who cares?
Yeah, and it's like most people are only end up being mayor once anyways. Like, oh, do you have prior experience? Like, what is this, a corporate job? Like,
yeah,
no, but there are skills. Yeah, but there are skills you need. Like, for example, Brad Lander has never been mayor of New York, but he's comptroller. Like, he's one step removed from the mayor, basically. Mm-hmm. You know, he could be mayor. That's why he ran. Same with Mamdani. Mamdani is an assembly member who is very active in his district, you know, dealing with city issues. Like, he understands these issues top to bottom very, very well, and he listens to people. Like, he doesn't just form his own policy and, like, imposes it on people. He actually listens and observes what's going on and bases his policy on that. That's the power. That's why, again,
that's what you're actually supposed to do as a politician.
Yeah, that's your job. Like, okay, he doesn't have the experience. He's doing his job. He's doing exactly what is asked of him. So.
Yep.
What else does our UNC have to say?
Mr. Sliwa.
First of all, I created the Guardian Angels to provide public safety in the subways and streets when government was incapable of doing so. I didn't do it to get a title or a paycheck. Secondarily, I don't declare myself to be all-knowing. I will hire the very brightest and best in their fields who have dedicated their lives to trying to...
And he's copying Zohran's line here, which, again, I think most politicians would say this, right? Sort of. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't necessarily say it's Zohran's line, but you can kind of see where he's, like, trying to angle himself, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can kind of see he's gonna mooch a lot off of Zohran Mamdani just to oppose Cuomo. Mm-hmm. This is gonna be fun.
Prove the city of New York or the state or the federal government or the private sector. But what I will say is, thank God I'm not a professional politician. We have the architect and we have the apprentice of No Cash Bail, which has been a disaster. We have the architect and the apprentice here of Raise the Age. My own son was almost killed because of that in a gang attack. We have the architect and we have the apprentice of Close Rikers Island, which would just release criminals in the street. Thank God.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah, Rikers Island is really popular in New York, buddy. Like, okay, bro. Nice meme.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, there have been, I think, didn't as much as I don't like the guy anymore. When Lil Wayne was not as cringe as he used to be. Like, he used to be pretty cool. Now he's like totally cringe. But like when he was cool, he actually wrote songs about his prison time at Rikers Island, which I think he was. I don't know what his case exactly was. I think he was in a state where like weed wasn't legal, but then he had possession of a weapon. I don't know what it was. Like, again,
it's either drug or weapons charges, because he talks about drugs and weapons like all the time in his songs.
Yeah, but then he refers to his time at Rikers, and yeah, it's just not popular, you know.
Yeah,
because
New Yorkers, it's an abusive shithole.
Well, abusive and then recidivism, right? The recidivism rate is really, really high. I think, is it one of the highest rates in the country for recidivism, or
probably,
somewhere up there?
I would assume.
Should be. It probably is. Yeah, the LA Men's Central Jail was actually closed, I think 2 years ago, because the conditions were so bad there. Like, it was almost third world conditions, and then they finally closed the Men's Central Jail here in LA. So that's a step forward. I mean, we are dealing with the LAPD here. Yeah.
It's okay. Floyd's got the blicky. That's all that matters.
That's true.
I'm not a professional politician because they have helped create this crime crisis in the city that we face, and I will
Thank you, Mr.
resolve.
Sliwa.
Thank you, Mr. Sliwa. Candidates, President Trump has expressed intense interest in this election and in all of you personally. Mr. Mamdani, the president called you, quote, my little communist. Mr. Sliwa, he said you're, quote, not exactly prime time. Mr. Cuomo, he has been critical of you, but said you have always gotten along. The president has threatened to cut federal funds to the city. And just yesterday, he killed the Gateway Project, the tunnel connecting New York to New Jersey. You've all promised to...
Wait, wouldn't that be really unpopular with people who vote for Trump who drive into New York City?
I would think so, yeah. Especially with all those...
Yeah, why...
Especially with all those dipshits who complain about congestion pricing, right, I think? Because it's mostly Trump... people in New Jersey who complain about that shit.
Yeah, because usually like those people will either like they'll go there. I think there's the what's it called? I forget what the tunnel's called, but it's like there's a tunnel. The tunnels going in from New Jersey to New York are already fully like over capacity. So it's like that's just going to tick off drivers more. It's like, okay, you have congestion pricing and then you don't have an additional tunnel being built, right? So it's like I don't know. Like to me, it's the way I see that is Trump trying to play like 5D chess here and say, well, I'm going to make congestion pricing sound even worse so that people vote for Cuomo. Like, is it literally just that?
No, that's fucking stupid.
He's not thinking that far.
No, he's not thinking it that way. He's too stupid to think of that way.
That's true. Yeah, he never thinks that far ahead.
The president has expressed intense interest in this election and in all of you personally. Mr. Mamdani, the president called you, quote, my little communist. Mr. Sliwa, he said,
my little communist.
Exactly prime time. Mr. Cuomo, he has been critical of you, but said you have always gotten along. The president has threatened to cut federal funds to the city. And just yesterday, he killed the Gateway Project, the tunnel connecting New York to New Jersey. You've all promised to resist him in some way. What would you say in your first official call with the president to set the tone for your relationship moving forward? We'll give you a minute for this. We'll start with you, Mr. Mamdani.
I would make it clear to the president that I am willing to not only speak to him, but to work with him if it means delivering on lowering the cost of living for New Yorkers. That's something that he ran his presidential campaign on, and yet all he's been able to deliver thus far has been prosecuting his political enemies and trying to enact the largest deportation program in American history. And what distinguishes me from Andrew Cuomo is the fact that he has gotten on the phone with that same president, not asking him how to work together to help New Yorkers, or not telling him that he would refuse to back down to protect those New Yorkers, but instead asking him how to win this race. That's something I can do myself. I don't need the president's assistance for. And what I tell the president is if he ever...
Giga chat, dude.
That's a good line. These are good lines.
Yep.
wants to come for New Yorkers in the way that he has been, he's going to have to get through me as the next mayor of the city.
All right, Mr. Cuomo, we'll give you a little extra time, but I'd like you to answer this question as well, what your first conversation with the president would be like.
Okay. First, I never had a conversation with the president that the assembly was talking about.
Lies, but okay.
Then that doesn't mean anything. You're working with the same donors and Bill Ackman, dude. It's practically the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's has a distant relationship with the truth. I would say to the president in the first conversation, look, we have had many battles. We fought together every day during COVID, and the battles were bloody, and I'd like to avoid them. If you
Instant capitulation. Again, quick reminder, this is also the exact same motherfucker who was saying that, well, maybe we should let Trump back in. If we decide to tell him let him back in, say like he's not all that bad or whatever, blah 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 blah. Give him some grace. Maybe he'll play nice with us. No, he fucking won't.
So, but anyways, yeah, no, it's the same old sort of like, like Democrats still think it's 1995, Clinton's in office, and they can just do bipartisan compromise. Like that after Bush, I feel like after W, that's when bipartisanship just completely fell apart, because that's when McConnell wrote all the bills or had all the good collecting dust on his desk,
Yeah, and keep in mind, don't look up what Trump's approval rating throughout the state of New York is. Now, there's a reason why I'm specifically saying just the state of New York. The state of New York, he's already unpopular in there. That's not to say the fucking city. Whoo! The city he is... I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, I don't know, below like 20s or some shit. He is very unpopular within the city of New York itself. So you trying to say that, oh, we just basically we just need to bring Trump back in, and if we try to treat him with grace, maybe he won't be as much of an asshole against us. It's like, why are you saying that? That's a little fucking suspicious. Like, no one would be saying that unless you were like trying to work directly with him. That's a little fucking weird. Very, very fucking strange.
What else you got for us, Cummo?
Come after New York, you know what I'm going to do. You know it's going to be ugly. And my chances are almost 50-50, even though you're the president. I'd like to work with you. I think we can do good things together. But number one, I will fight you every step of the way if you try to hurt New York.
Unless he weaponizes the justice system to go after the attorney general of the state, in which case you'll issue a statement that doesn't even name the president. And no matter what you think about Donald Trump, you know that not even being able to name him is an act of cowardice. And that's...
Also, keep in mind, literally with it, the moderators themselves brought it up. He still has a DOJ investigation hanging over his head. So do you really think for 1 second that this motherfucker, Donald Trump, is not going to be like, hey, Andrew, I have this DOJ investigation that I can be very, very aggressive with on you. Do you not think for a second that I could just open it back up and try to blackmail you with it? Which is why he's being as incredibly conciliatory as he is right now, right? Like, logically speaking, why? Why would he? That's so fucking weird, dude. It's just like, that's a little suspicious. That's a little suspicious. I wonder why you might be so conciliatory about the fact that you want to let Donald Trump back in when he is, broadly speaking, incredibly fucking unpopular right now within the New York City, who you're trying to run to be the mayor for. Like what? Like, logically speaking, this doesn't make any fucking sense. You should do everything possible to be attacking him, yet you're willing to concede to him. That's a little interesting. It's because of that DOJ investigation that Trump can just reopen at any time, and Trump can use as blackmail material against him. Yep. He's a compromised candidate.
1000%. Yeah, and Cuomo is would rather have immunity as mayor than have to sit in court.
It's gonna be Eric Adams again. It's gonna be the same thing. Eric Adams all over again.
Eric Adams, but Eric, what Cuomo is for Israel, Eric Adams is for Turkey.
That's true. He's Turkey's strongest soldier. Turkey. Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. I would like to tell Cuomo, buddy, you're Italian. Why are you so gung-ho for Israel? You're betraying your fellow Italians. He's doing Italophobia.
That's true.
One more reason to not vote for him. Yeah. Italophobe. Self-hating Italian. I want to see this battle continue. Let's see.
We would see from Donald Trump's puppet.
All right, I do want to get to Sliwa, but Mr. Cuomo, I'll give you a few seconds to respond to that. Yeah, I said political weaponization of the justice system is wrong. Both sides do it. It's wrong when Donald Trump does it. It's wrong when
find people on both sides.
When they did it to Comey. It's wrong.
Bro,
when
it's
wrong when it happened to
Bro, it's fucking politics. Don't do this like Michelle Obama fucking tear cope and LARP bullshit. Where you're just like, I'm gonna not engage in partisanship. I'm gonna just take it like a little bitch and take the fucking high. Nah. No, that's not gonna fucking work. People don't want just like you to sit around with a fucking thumb up your ass, being like, I'm sorry, Mr. President. I'm sorry for doubting you. You should just let your ice Gestapo little freaks just run around and just start jailing a bunch of people. I'm so sorry. It's just like, the fuck out of here with this stupid ass bullshit. Like, no one wants this like namby-pamby, pimbly-wimbly, pussy-ass stupid bullshit anymore. It's about having some actual fucking spine and a backbone. And again, like I said before,
exactly.
Cuomo, you got that DOJ investigation hanging over your head, so you're willing to instantaneously capitulate to Trump. If Trump's gonna ask you to jump, you're gonna ask how high. 1,000 fucking percent. Like, get the fuck out of here with this stupid bullshit.
Yeah, bipartisanship is just capitulation. There's no bipartisanship. It's just capitulation or opposition, right? That's all it is now. Yeah, ever since Michelle Obama changed school lunch, it all went downhill. Yeah, Obama made all the school lunches woke and vegan.
I can't believe
it all went downhill from there.
I can't believe that Michelle Obama is trying to basically make schools healthy for children. We all know that children are fucking sugar demons, right? We know that they love eating their sugar. Then they love sugar, folks. Very, very true and real and totally based. Even though, despite the fact, like, let's be quite honest here, these motherfuckers at the Republican Party, since they're trying to basically destroy the Department of Education with that, I don't know, Linda McMahon, the fucking complete troglodyte. They would basically just have it such that, food for children? What food for children? We don't have money for that shit. We do have money for, like, Palantir and Elon Musk and shit, so, food for kids? Fuck that shit. Who cares about any of that? Very, very cool.
Yeah. More Starlink, more Boeing missiles.
More AI security, like, LARP bullshit. Food for kids?
Yeah,
fuck that.
Which we sell to, war criminals around the world. Yeah, nice. Is this over yet?
Thank you, Mr. Cuomo. I want to give Mr. Sliwa a chance to answer this. Mr. Sliwa, your first official conversation with the president, what would you say to set the tone?
Well, first of all, there's high levels of testosterone in this room. I've had a love-hate relationship with Donald Trump that goes back over 30 years. But I know one thing. We have Andrew Cuomo. We have Zohran Mamdani. They want to take on Donald Trump. Look, you can be tough But you can't be tough if it's going to cost people desperately needed federal funds. Zohran Mamdani, the president, has already said it's going to take $7 billion out of the budget right from the start if you're elected mayor. People are going to suffer in this city. People who need those federal funds. What I would do is sit and negotiate. I would say, look, Mr. President, we need that Gateway Tunnel. It moves millions of people from Washington, D.C. to Boston. But take away the Q train project. We don't need those 3 stations going from 96th Street to 125th. It's not.
Oh, you do. It's New York City. This is so stupid.
Yeah, this is really dumb. He's also just going to capitulate as well.
Yep.
Not a necessity. Sit with the president and whoever he delegates and try to negotiate. But if you try to get tough with Trump, the only people who are going to suffer from that are the people of New York City.
Okay, Mr. Sliwa, thank you. Brief response, Mr. Mamdani.
But yeah, but everyone
Mr. Trump
wants
is
people
already
to be tough
suspending
with Trump.
infrastructure grants to this city.
And already Zoran's
Sorry, what?
also Zoran's like gonna have it has an immediate good point. Like it doesn't matter. Like first off, like he's already just going to cancel whatever the fuck he feels like canceling, and he's just going to just do like whatever the fuck he feels like. There's no appeasing someone like Donald Trump. He wants full capitulation and sycophantry. And these motherfuckers are willing to do that. I don't remember the other point that I was saying. Like there is basically like no point in trying to capitulate to someone who is just uninterested in people who capitulate. Like think of the media organizations who have already capitulated to Trump. Your ABCs, your CBSs of the world. They still try to fucking stab him in the back. They still try to stab him in the back. Like, it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you don't, like I said before, you do not negotiate with fucking terrorists, and Donald Trump's a fucking terrorist.
Exactly. Yeah, because he's not going to negotiate either. So why negotiate? Like, just
why bother?
You know, and I think Zoran's response is gonna get into that exactly.
Okay, Mr. Sliwa, thank you. Brief response, Mr. Mamdani.
You know, Mr. Trump is already suspending infrastructure grants to this city, and he's doing it in a blatant act of political retribution. And what it requires is leadership that will stand up to him. And I disagree with Mr. Sliwa. We do need to extend the 2nd Avenue subway to 125th Street. It was a promise made to Harlemites decades ago.
Okay.
It's time to actually fulfill
Thank
it.
you, Mr. Mamdani.
Okay, quick question for
Do I get 50?
Good.
Quick question for each of you. Mr. Cuomo, you've been asked this before.
He mentioned my name. Don't I get a chance to respond?
Well, we got a lot of ground to cover, Sliwa.
Last time you spoke with President Trump, Mr. Cuomo, you've been asked.
Cooked. Get cooked.
Is that well? Listen, they're gonna the moderators are more likely to snub people like Curtis Sliwa because he's in 3rd place. Like he's basically seen as like basically irrelevant. Like they're not gonna give a fuck about any of his bullshit.
Yeah, and I don't know. Let's see how the moderators do as far as like speaking in turn or whatever. But
well, so far they've been allowing Cuomo to have all of his like dipshit fucking rebuttals. Like I don't think they're gonna give the same grace to Curtis Sliwa. I don't think that's happening.
No, probably. Well, I mean, yeah, that's probably true. Curtis is the 3rd wheel. Indeed, he is 3rd wheel in this.
Before, and the last time you said you couldn't remember?
I believe it was during his assassination attempt.
So last year in 2024. Mr. Sliwa, when was the last time you spoke with President Trump?
Oh, many years ago, we were receiving awards. I was praising him for saving the annual Veterans Day parade. Those were the conversations that I had with him. Can I please respond? I was asked about the Q train.
Okay, real quick.
Mamdani?
I am the mayor of mass transit. We do not need a Q train. I'm in the subways every day.
Boo.
So
No,
is
you
Zoran,
need
you
that
fucking
because-
dumbass? Like what the fuck are you talking about? Like
I'm in the subway all the time. We don't need this fucking train.
so is Zoran, bro. He literally just had an advertisement not that long ago where he's in the fucking subway, okay? Cope, LARP, okay? Nice meme, dude.
Yeah, he hops on it. He hops on it every day. Like, and especially as mayor, he's probably on that train like most of the day.
He
just
like
going places
literally
and-
on the
Yeah.
like a couple days before election, he just like he walked around. He literally walked around like parts of fucking New York just talking with people. That was Zohran Mamdani.
Yeah,
he covered like 10 miles in one day of entirety of like almost multiple boroughs of New York. Yeah, he did also go on that subway TikTok show thingy as well. That's true, Jazz Dog.
That's Kareem's show, right?
Yeah.
Subway takes. Yeah, he went on that. That's a pretty funny one. Kareem's hilarious. Kareem is hilarious. But yeah, no, I was saying that like he's like he went on his morning jog. He ran like random people. He would just talk to random people. Like if you want to like Sliwa says, oh, I am New York. I'm always in the subway. Zohran is New York. Like he's constantly like in the city. He's like he just talks to random people. He rides the subway. He's living.
Well, no, the only
New York.
reason why Curtis Sliwa is saying that he is New York and he'll fucking code. He loves to fucking code shift all the time or code whatever the fuck, code change all the time in terms of his speech. He'll like do his like overplayed Italian fucking accent. And even in like a more recent interview, he did like a particular like New York Jewish fucking accent as well, because he loves to fucking code change all the time. Like that's like his shtick, because that's in his mind, that's what he thinks as real fucking New York. It's complete fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's a very sort of Hollywoodized version of New York, if you will. Like, like for him, New York is like The Godfather, right? That's his version of New York. It's not like Zohran lives and breathes it every day, and like he understands how like diverse it is. Like, you know, yeah, he'll go to the Jewish communities and stuff, but then he'll also go to the Bengali community and, you know, talk with all the Bangladeshi aunties in perfect Bengali, even though he's not Bengali himself. That's amazing. That's New York, buddy. Yeah. Shout out to the Bangladeshi aunties, 07. Anyways.
We have more than a capable system of transporting people. The infrastructure needs to be fixed in the system that we have.
Mr. Mamdani, have you ever spoken with President Trump?
No.
Okay, there you go. Sally.
Thank you. Mr. Cuomo, a follow-up to that. President Trump has spoken positively about you and your candidacy, even as his Justice Department, as we've noted, is reportedly investigating you for allegations you lied to Congress over your COVID record. Given that dynamic, how would you be able to stand up to this White House? How are you not compromised? And just take into account that New Yorkers are troubled by what they view as a compromised relationship the current outgoing mayor has with the president.
Yeah, first, you're wrong when you say there's any investigation of me. That's not true.
Do you have
Congress.
Wrong, dude. You have a case against the
Yep, you do.
Yeah,
You
the
have a
DOJ's
case.
got.
Like
DOJ.
fucking that happened under Joe Biden's fucking DOJ, bro. Like it's so stupid.
He's so caught.
I'm caught.
There is no
I've heard
investigation.
absolutely nothing. Congress did a press release. They said they sent a letter to the Department of Justice,
Fuck you, Ford.
which they do routinely to generate press, and that's what that is. I fought Donald Trump. He investigated me repeatedly with the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice Inspector General said that it was actually politically motivated. That does not back me up.
Here's the fucking thing. Like, no, this happened under the case was initially brought up because of the stuff that you were doing in COVID nursing homes. So that was under Trump's DOJ, and the exact same investigations were being continued under Biden's fucking DOJ as well. Like, so spare me it, dude. This isn't just a fucking Trump thing. Bro, you're just a fucking criminal, my guy. Again, quick reminder, sued 13 women for their fucking gynecological records. They're never fucking bringing it up. It's a little fucking interesting. They should bring that up.
Can't eat the drywall, that. Microwaving mice is wrong,
I don't know. Cuomo's going to lose a lot of trust with people. What are the lies you got for us, Cummo?
I'll tell you something else. If the Assemblyman is elected mayor, Donald Trump will take over New York City, and it will be Mayor Trump who runs New York City.
We have to move on. Just a very quick follow-up. Yes or no? You're saying unequivocally the Justice Department is not investigating you, correct?
I've heard absolutely nothing.
They could be, and you might not have heard it. But okay, we'll move on. David?
Okay, thanks, Sally. That's virtually impossible.
Okay, I mean, there could have been
Mr.
some
Cuomo, you did
follow-up
put
there,
out an
but
ad the day after the news first broke in the New York Times that you were under investigation, calling it a political investigation, saying they were coming after you as they had to, after other Democratic politicians. You haven't denied this previously.
That the Republican Congress was. Yes, I believe they play politics with the justice system. I believe the Republican Congress does it. I believe Donald Trump does it. I believe the Democrats do it. And that's why I think people are sick and tired of the justice system and the politics.
Yeah, people, which is exactly what you do, and people are sick and tired of you.
Also, by the way, no, the fuck they don't. The Democrats do not play
Shut the
politics.
fuck up. No one cares. Know your fucking place. Trash.
Like, what are you talking about? The Merrick Garland DOJ playing politics, where they could have had the easiest fucking political slam dunk on the planet, and Garland decided to fucking pussy out of that. Yeah, okay, buddy. Yeah, the Democrats like to play politics with the DOJ. Yeah, dude, totally. With fucking pussy at. Yeah, I wish they did. Fucking that dumbass Donald Trump should have been thrown behind fucking bars for seditious conspiracism for January 6th. But Merrick Garland's pussy-looking head ass decided to be like,
well, I just want to have a role because of the fact that inky stinky turtle Mitch McConnell took away my Supreme Court position away from me. Joe Biden, can you give me a DEI hire at the DOJ? And Joe Biden was just like, all right, Jack, I'm gonna give you a fucking DEI hire. You can be my attorney general or some shit. It's like, okay, bro, nice fucking meme. Okay, we do have to get through
this. I think that there's no difference between the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, and that's the candidate for you. If you think it's time to have a Democratic Party that actually stands up to Donald Trump and his billionaire back to assault working people,
you're not a Democrat, right? You're not a Democrat. You're a Democratic socialist. You didn't vote for Kamala Harris, right?
We have other ground to cover. No, we have other ground to cover.
Well, what is that? You did vote for Kamala Harris. He probably did.
Who the fuck? Yeah,
What-
that doesn't. It doesn't
What?
matter. Like he lives in New
I
York. You
voted
fucking
for her.
dumbass. Like what the fuck do you mean? New York was gonna
Yeah.
go to Kamala anyways. It doesn't matter if Zohran Mamdani didn't vote for Kamala or not. It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I voted for her and then I regretted it. I was like, I like literally like, I was like, okay, I'm just voting for her because she's auntie. That's literally it.
She is an auntie.
That
That's
was
true.
the only reason, and she was less bad, you know.
Mhm.
Anyways, yeah. Anyways,
Incendiary charge. I want to be very.
You may have a chance to address it, but we
I'll be
have
very
a lot
quick.
of issues to get to with New Yorkers.
I'll be very quick.
You didn't say leave it blank in the Kamala
I'll be very
campaign?
quick. I said leave it blank in the presidential primary because primaries are a place to air dissent. And like many Americans, I was horrified by the
Mr.
Israeli
Mamdani,
genocide of
all right.
Palestinians.
Okay.
And if you want to look for me on the ballot, you'll find me as the
Okay,
Democrat.
Mr. Mamdani, thank you. We have to move on.
That's true. That's
Dude,
it's a good dig right there because again, Andrew Cuomo's a fucking goddamn. He's running as an independent right now.
yeah. I mean, Cuomo is the independent, and yet he thinks he's the Democrat. I'm like, you are not him. You are not him, Cuomo.
Yeah. Hey, Cuomo, who lost by 13 points in the Democratic primary? Ooh, yikes! 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 Some Democrat he is.
Not looking good, dude.
Not looking good.
Also, Cuomo's trying to appeal to people that didn't vote for Kamala. Yeah, no. He's just trying to appeal to all the Jill Stein, like the 5 Jill Stein voters in Brooklyn. I don't know. Like, yeah, so stupid. Anyways.
This week, the world is reacting to President Trump's Israel-Hamas peace deal and the release of the hostages. And many are cautiously optimistic about a lasting peace. Of course, the mayor has no direct role in foreign affairs, and we certainly have a lot of questions for you about city matters. But this war has been a major topic in the campaign, and there are criticisms about your positions in the past and how you envision leading on these issues as mayor. So we have questions for all of you, but first for Mr. Mamdani, because of something you said that's been generating headlines in the news today as we come into the debate yesterday on Fox News. You were asked if Hamas should lay down its weapons, key to the peace plan and ceasefire. And some say they found your answer confusing. You said, quote, I don't really have opinions about the future of Hamas and Israel beyond the question of justice and safety and the fact that anything has to abide by international law. And that applies to Hamas, and that applies to the Israeli military. So for the voters tuning in tonight, Mr. Mamdani, what do you believe about Hamas and how lasting peace will be achieved? We know it's a complicated matter, but we'd like to keep your answer to a minute if you could.
Of course, I believe that they should lay down their arms. I'm proud to be one of the first elected officials in the state who called for a ceasefire. And calling for a ceasefire means seizing fire. That means all parties have to cease fire and put down their weapons. And the reason that we
Keep
call for
in
that is not
mind,
only for
Israel
the end
is
of the
still
genocide-
currently bombing Palestinians to this day. Just today, they just did some fucking bombing in Gaza. They're still like ceasefire. What fucking ceasefire? There is no fucking ceasefire. Israel has never been interested in the tenets of the ceasefire. Literally, as soon as the fucking hostages were returned, including their fucking bodies, the fucking bombing immediately started again. This was always the fucking point. This is always going to be the fucking case. It's like complete cope otherwise.
Yeah, no, that's the point. Like, you know, initially, like you remember, like back in 2023, after October 7th, what happened? Israel was like, okay, we need to get our hostages back, and then we will retreat or whatever, right? That was the initial promise. We knew they weren't gonna stick by that. We knew they were going to.
Every instance of a fucking
time.
ceasefire, Benjamin Netanyahu actively fucking snubbed it every single time. Snubbed any chance at a fucking ceasefire. It's so fucking stupid, dude. Not to also mention, Hamas wanted to negotiate for the fucking hostages literally as soon on the next day after fucking October 7th, on October 8th. They said to Israel, oh, hey, can we have a fucking ceasefire, please? Like, we don't want to fucking deal with this shit anymore. We're willing to we're willing to just like coexist with one another. We're not going to recognize you as a state, but like, can you just like fuck off and like leave us alone? We'll just return all the hostages and we can just do a hostage exchange. And it's like, nope. We're just gonna bomb you.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
yeah,
bro.
and again, it was never about, the focus was never on the hostages and stuff. And even now, like, just real quick, I was watching here on PBS. Yeah, thankfully we still have PBS. I don't know for how much longer. They do show like world news. Like they'll have, you know, BBC and, you know, France 24 and stuff like that. I know French. But I was watching France 24 and they had like this, I don't know if it was Hasbro or whatever, but they had a piece on like mental health of like you know, hostage families and stuff, which, okay, you know, I get that. I get that. And, you know, those families went through you know, a lot of them lost their family members, right? Because
you want to know who they currently go out and protest like every day in fucking Tel Aviv? The Benjamin Netanyahu, they hate Benjamin Netanyahu because they know that Benjamin Netanyahu actively gets in the way of all fucking attempts at a hostage exchange and ceasefire deal. Like, okay, bro, nice meme.
Yeah. And yeah, that's the thing. But it was focusing on like mental health of these people, and I was watching the whole thing. They never mentioned one time the
Palestinians.
They never mentioned the Palestinians like one time in this report. I'm like, man, this has to be Hasbara or like liberal Hasbara, which I guess is typical for Europe. I don't know.
Which is probably incredibly fucking unpopular there. Europeans are overwhelmingly pro-Palestinian mostly because they have to deal with Israelis, and they fucking hate dealing with Israelis. Those fucking dumbass tourists.
Yep, exactly. Like Amsterdam, right? They really don't like them in Amsterdam for good reasons.
And in Greece.
Anyway.
But also an unimpeded access of humanitarian aid. I, like many New Yorkers, am hopeful that this ceasefire will hold. I'm hopeful that it is durable. I'm hopeful that it is just. And for it to be just, we also have to ensure that it addresses the conditions that preceded this. Conditions like occupation, like the siege, and apartheid. And that is what I'm hopeful for.
Yeah.
Based.
Sure.
Now, a lot of lefties, let's talk about this, right? There's been a lot of brain rot lately, right? All the left, not all the lefties, but the really like the more
tankies.
Unhinged ones. Yeah,
Just
the
tankies.
tankies, or even, I guess mostly them. They're going to say, oh, he's Zionist, he's this, that, he's capitulating to the Hasbara or whatever. No, he's not. What he's doing, again, he's running for, this is like part of like strategy, right? And this is something I talk about when I talk about racing. Like in racing, you have a strategy. You're like, okay, we have to pit on this lap, we have to refuel on that lap, and we have to outsmart, our opponent, all that stuff, right? That's what he's doing. And because a lot of people, you have to understand, like, especially we as lefties, when we're talking to other people who aren't on our side per se, or mostly agree with us, but not fully, like, we have to start with where they're at and then help them paradigm shift. And I think that's what Zohran is doing with this campaign. He's not just here trying to earn your vote. He's trying to help kickstart that paradigm shift for a lot of people. Let's get a move on then. All right. So we know Zohran's got the best response here.
If I may, that means from the river to the sea.
I'm being marginalized out of this.
I'm sorry, when
it's
you
a debate of three.
Curtis, that's funny.
Dude.
That's funny.
Dude, it's like Zohran is the youngest guy in the stage, and he's coming off as the adult. It's so great. It's so great. Yeah, Bracelet Block, we are watching the debate. The Zohran versus everyone debate. Yes. Yeah, he's just standing there like a Giga Chad.
Do we acknowledge that? Three people?
Mr. Sliwa, go ahead, and we'll give you a second. Go ahead, Mr. Sliwa.
The President of the United States should have been applauded by you, Zohran Mamdani, and you, Andrew Cuomo, on the day that he brought together that international coalition that met in Egypt, that came from the Middle East and the Persian Gulf. I certainly applauded him for bringing peace to Gaza and trying to end the hostilities in the war between the Israelis and Hamas, so there can be peace between the Israelis and peace between the Palestinians. But you seem, Zohran, to be incapable of praising our president, and Andrew, you were incapable.
Why would he praise who cares about praising the president? Like,
yeah, literally the tenets of the ceasefire have already been broken, so
yeah,
why praise him?
Well, and then praising the president, like, okay, he's not praising Biden either, so what gives? It doesn't matter. Like, I love how, like, Zohran has basically forced these guys to try to make, to try to talk about, oh, you need to please the dear leader. And Zoran's like, no, I'm about the people. And I think it's only playing into his strengths. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Sliwa's grazing Trump, which is funny because he also glazes Zohran for being, I guess the only reason Sliwa glazes Zohran is because Zohran is Cuomo's main opposition. That's all it is. Like, it's just all sort of petty politics for him. There's no principle. Praise Trump for a peace that hasn't come. Exactly.
Gentlemen, we have
give credit where credit is due. He's brought peace to Gaza.
Yeah, gentlemen, we want to hear everything you have to say. We have other questions. Doesn't matter, Mr. Cuomo. Please brief response because we do have other questions on this issue that you may be able to address. Go ahead.
I did applaud President Trump and his administration. I think it was a great accomplishment. I hope the peace holds. The Assemblyman will not.
It wasn't a great accomplishment.
Denounce Hamas. The Assemblyman will not denounce Hasan Piker, who said America deserved 9/11. The Assemblyman just said in his response.
No, I can't believe you're not gonna denounce Hasan Piker. No! Why are you denouncing him? No!
Like, get the fuck out of here with this, like, stupid LARP cope bullshit, bro. Like, what kind of fucking putang-ass, pussy-ass bullshit is this?
No, you have to go after Hasan Piker. No, you have to go after him. You have to denounce him. He's such a stinky meanie bobini because he keeps making fun of my Italian accent because I'm a stupid little fucking rapist LARPer.
Yeah, fucking keep crying more, you stupid little bitch. You're a rapist. You're a fucking little rapist. You want to fucking diddle kids or some shit, you fucking weirdo, Andrew Cuomo. Fuck out of here with this, like, stupid fucking LARP cope bullshit. Dude, you're also the same dude who did an interview with, like, maybe 20 people, and Zohran Mamdani is out here fucking, filling up theaters with thousands of fucking people. You could never have such gravitas and fucking riz. And you're out here doing, like, petty LARP cope bullshit stuff with a picture of Hasan Piker with the Malding fucking muscle shirt on. Get the fuck out of here with this stupid bullshit. Fucking pussy ass little petty bitch baby. And you're just being
God,
like,
dude.
Hey, Cuomo, I'm jingling the fucking keys. I'm jingling the keys. Why does no one fucking like you? Because you're a fucking whiny little bitch baby beta. Okay.
Exactly.
Depends on occupation. That is code, meaning that Israel does not have a right to exist as a Jewish state, which he has never acknowledged.
Hey!
Who cares?
Hey, fucking Jewish state? Oh, what do we mean exactly by a fucking Jewish state? That's never been a fucking full fucking Jewish state ever in the history of the existence of Palestina, you fucking stupid dumbass. There's always been fucking Palestinians in there, Arabs, Jews, Latin Christians. Every fucking walk and flavor of life has been in there ever since the time of the fucking Crusades, 800 years ago, you stupid fucking dumbass.
So you're saying, like, personally, I think that Israel now has to exist as a Jewish ethno-state. I think this is a wholeheartedly justifiable fucking position.
Listen, we get it. You just wanna have an ethno-state. It's okay. You just wanna have an ethno-state. You just wanna murder people who have brown fucking skin. Nice fucking meme, dude.
So yeah, and by the way, a little bit, because I want to just give a little bit of perspective, because I am a practicing Christian. I do be a critical faith theorist. So and so
even further back with the Canaanites, Fox of Fate. We can go all the way that far back.
Yeah, the Philistines, the Canaanites were like the early peoples of the Levant. Thank you for sharing the link. Bandcamp, nice. We love Bandcamp. So anyways, the what I was gonna say is, in the time of the Bible, I think this is where a lot of American Christians go wrong, or I guess Western Christians in general go wrong, is that they think that, okay, when they see the word Israel in the Bible, it denotes a nation state. There were no nation states in the time of the Old Testament or even in the New Testament. Yeah, the only time there maybe was a nation state was, like, I don't know, when Constantinople became I don't know, I guess the
it was not it was not the Western Roman Empire. The only argument you can make is maybe the Holy Roman Empire, but that's just like a collection of different fiefdoms and kingdoms that sort of have like a parliamentary system where they vote on the emperor. Like, it's a very vague, like, sort of argument for the Holy Roman Empire, but even then, that's like tenuous at best. Now, like, there hasn't been the concept of a fucking nation state, like, all the way back then.
Yeah, you'd have to go as far. Maybe the farthest back you could go, or the furthest back you could go, is the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, and even then, that was not exactly
the same thing either.
A modern nation state. Yeah, like that's the thing. That's the thing I don't get with. So when you read the Old Testament, I think a lot of people try to interpret it in the current context, and you can't do that. Every academic who studies the religious texts, the Quran, the Bible, the Torah. They all do it in the historical context. Why? It's the only way to do it. Like, otherwise you're doing a disservice to it. And
it's also because these people are fucking LARPers, right? They don't like listen. This is a consistent thing with fucking Christians all the time, and conservatives specifically. They will do anything possible in order to twist and pervert history in order to satisfy their fucking political goals. It's a consistent pattern of behavior with conservatism.
Yeah, and then the academic scholars who are themselves practicing praying Christians or Muslims or whatever or Jews, they'll come out and they'll state the true fact, and then these LARPers will say, "Oh, you're persecuting everybody," or "You're an atheist," and it's like, no. And so this is kind of like we're kind of seeing the roots of this here with Cuomo's rhetoric, and frankly, this is like, unfortunately, this is still the Democratic Party main line as far as rhetoric, even though, like you said in recent polling, it's like 8 to 10. It's not even 10% approval rating.
Well, people in the
the
Democratic
IOF.
Party
Yeah.
fucking hate Israel, and it's
Mm-hmm.
they're
reason.
I can make a bet it's even less popular within fucking New York itself. And you're like running to be the mayor of fucking New York, and it's just like Israel, I love Israel. It's like, why the fuck do you keep talking about Israel, little bro? Like, one of Zoran's greatest fucking moments was during the first debate that he had, and he was just like, it's like, oh yeah, I would just want to go visit Israel. And the only person who said that he would just want to focus on New York in the 5 boroughs was Zohran Mamdani. And that was such a good line, great fucking line, that even Asmongold praised fucking Zohran Mamdani. It's just like, it's
I
just
remember
like
that.
complete LARP fucking coke bullshit.
I
mean, let's not forget you 235. This is also the exact same motherfucker, Andrew Cuomo over here, who said he'd want to represent Benjamin Netanyahu in the ICC in the case that's against him. That would be hilarious if he did that, though. That'd be so funny.
I hope he does. That would be the ultimate. That would be that would be catharsis, indeed.
He won't denounce globalize the Intifada, which means kill all Jews.
Let's give Mr. Mamdani
Okay,
a chance to
okay,
respond to
pause it again. Well,
debunk.
Okay, yeah, because Andrew Cuomo has no attacks and he's a desperate fucking loser, schizophrenic little fucking freak. The globalize the Antifada stuff, Zohran Mamdani didn't even fucking say that. That is a line where he was talking to the Bulwark podcast specifically, and he was talking about how the term Antifada is used in the Smithsonian exhibit for the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, because I know that Americans are, it's like Andrew Cuomo, are kind of brain dead. But Antifada means uprising. And Zohran Mamdani was talking about how people who are Islamophobic will use the term Antifada to mean certain things that it does not mean in particular fucking contexts. Oh, including motherfuckers like Andrew Cuomo, because in reality, he's just an Islamophobic little fucking freak.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing again in I remember one time on stream, one time
he was
on my
denouncing
stream,
the term U235 during that exact fucking podcast where he was saying he recognized that term. Yeah, he recognizes it's not like accurate to use, or that it can be misconstrued.
Right, but I was saying, like, on stream, I've actually said the word inkilab before, which inkilab in Urdu means, which, Urdu is spoken like North India and Pakistan. It means revolution or uprising. It's a similar word. I think it's a more Persian in origin. But inkilab, inkilab zindabad is what a lot of the, like, Indian freedom fighters would say. And imagine if Andrew Cuomo would probably call that, problematic too. I don't know. I guess maybe that's Zoran should have said Inkilab Zindabad. He would have been fine. Anyway, I'm memeing, of course, but yes, that's the actual context. So again, Cuomo is lying.
I want to be very clear. The occupation is a reference to international law and the violation of it, which Mr. Cuomo has no regard for since he signed up to be Benjamin Netanyahu's legal defense team during the course of this genocide. And I find the comments that Hasan made on 9/11 to be objectionable and reprehensible. And I also think that part of the reason why Democrats are in the situation,
which in a way they were, right? And I guess Zoran's kind of appealing to sort of 9/11.
Yeah, like let's be honest here, he's not going to defend it, and I don't think he should fucking defend it. Ostensibly speaking, what Hasan is saying there is correct. He is right in that assessment, talking about the consequences of American fucking foreign policy causing a 9/11, because that's what he was talking about in reality. But, dumbasses like Andrew Cuomo and Fox News are not going to be honest about that. Even fucking Destiny defended that stuff before they had their falling out. And Destiny was correct in that defense. But, none of these people here are fucking being honest about this. Like, let's be honest here.
1000%. Yep.
That we are in, of being a permanent minority in this country, is we are looking only to speak to journalists and streamers and Americans with whom we agree of every single thing that they say. We need to take the case to every person, and I'm happy to do that, which is why I was on Fox News yesterday talking about how I wish it was more like NASCAR, so we could see all the billionaires who are sponsoring you right on your suit jacket.
NASCAR, that's critical racing theory. Turn fast and turn left.
Turning fast and left.
I love it, man.
Melissa has another.
We're going to turn it to Sally, actually.
Yeah, actually, this kind of flows, and then we'll go back to Melissa. Mr. Mamdani, you told NBC's Meet the Press that you don't believe it's the role of the mayor to police speech. Your words about this war have comforted many New Yorkers, but they've troubled others, and I want to ask about some of this. There is your recent refusal, as we just discussed, to condemn the slogan, Globalize the Intifada, which many view as a call to arms. In 2017, you rapped lyrics praising the Holy Land Five. These are men who were convicted of supporting terrorism. How would you assure New Yorkers, especially Jewish residents who might be concerned about this, that you would be a mayor for all? You have 1 minute to answer this.
Thank you for this opportunity. When I'm speaking about the responsibility of leading the city, I mean leading not just those who voted for me, leading not just those who vote, but leading every single person who calls the city home. And that includes Jewish New Yorkers. And I have been so thankful for the opportunity I've had to sit with so many Jewish New Yorkers over the course of the primary and through the general. And it's in those conversations that I learned that this phrase evokes many painful memories. Memories of bus attacks in Haifa, of restaurant attacks in Jerusalem. And I heard from a rabbi about their roommate who was killed on one of those buses. And in hearing that and the distance between that impact and the rationale that some use of saying it, of speaking about the Israeli occupation of Palestinian land, is why I said that I would discourage this language that I do not use. And what I'm looking to do as the first Muslim mayor of this city is to ensure that we bring every New Yorker together. Jewish New Yorkers, Muslim New Yorkers, every single person that calls the city home.
Okay.
That they understand they won't just be protected, but they will belong.
Mr. Sliwa, we will get to you first. I'm going to ask a question of Mr. Cuomo. While you are a strong supporter of Israel, you have also been slow to develop a relationship with the city's Muslim community. You have called Mr. Mamdani a terrorist sympathizer. How do you assure those New Yorkers, especially Muslims and Arabic New Yorkers, that you will be a mayor for all? You'll have 1 minute.
Yeah, well, first, I think the Assemblyman created the perception himself. Why wouldn't he condemn Hamas? Why wouldn't he condemn Hamas?
Come on.
Answer the fucking question. No one cares about condemn hummus. You need to condemn hummus. You have to condemn it all the time, guys. It's just like, okay, bro, whatever. It's just stupid.
Yeah, what am I supposed to say? Baba Ganoush is better than hummus? Like, I don't know. Like, exactly. Yeah. See, my chat's doing it. See, they're doing it. Come on, Cuomo. Look at my chat. They're doing it. You're not happy yet? Okay. That ain't gonna lower the rent. Exactly.
Hasan Piker. Why did it take us here tonight for the first time
Hasan again.
for him to say it? He still won't denounce globalize the Intifada, which means kill all Jews. Just say, I denounce it. He won't do
Why
it.
should
That's the
he?
issue. And his divisiveness
Can you address the question
is
that we're putting to
chronic.
you? I think you've made the point, but can you please answer about your own relationship with the Muslim community?
He's not going to answer this question. He's not going to answer this question because he's a
I don't think in
racist.
any way the Assemblyman is represented.
He can't answer the question. Like, he just hates all Muslim people. He just hates them. Like, at this point, Zohran Mamdani should just be like, okay, you hate Muslims then. You just hate them. You hate them.
Yeah.
You fucking hate them. Like, we get it. Like, I see how you feel. You hate me as well. You hate that I'm Muslim and I'm beating your ass. That'd be the Giga Chad play right there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he'd say it in the more sort of like publicly acceptable way or like really smart way. But yeah, no, that he should play into that 1000%. Yeah, and 235. Maybe Cuomo isn't paying attention to what's going on back home in Italy. I know he's Italian American, but like, back home in Italy, the streets are full of people with the Palestine flags. So
literally, the fucking Italians just shut down the fucking ports of Italy. If Giorgia Meloni did not support the Global Samud flotilla. Like, they shut down the country because of that. So, your native Italians don't agree with you either, Andrew Cuomo. It's a little interesting.
Of the Muslim community, which is a vital community in New York City, and I am very fond of, and I've been working with.
Zoran's going to call him out. Just wait.
I think he's playing his own politics. Many of his positions don't even follow the Muslim faith, so I see them as two totally separate things.
Mr. Mamdani, want to respond?
You know, it took Andrew Cuomo being beaten by a Muslim candidate in the Democratic primary for him to set foot in a mosque.
Stop, he's dead already. Actually, don't stop. This is amazing.
That's funny.
This is so good.
He had more than 10 years, and he couldn't name a single mosque at the last debate we had that he visited. And what Muslims want in this city is what every community wants and deserves. They want equality, and they want respect. And it took me to get you to even see those Muslims as part of this city. And that, frankly, is something that is shameful and is why so many New Yorkers have lost faith in this politics.
Yeah, except, that's totally false. I've worked with the Muslim community for many years.
Name a single mosque you went to when you were the governor. Can you name a single mosque you went to in 10 years?
Before you were ever here. They were
and meanwhile, Zoran's out here going to every place of worship. Temples, gurudwaras, mosques, churches. He's everywhere, dude.
It's all of them.
Yeah, he went to synagogues. I mean, he's gone to basically all places of worship, Sunni and Shia mosques. Like, he's been to all of them. It's like Cuomo has nothing on this.
I was here.
Before you were even in state government, I worked with the Muslim community. Imams presided over state of the states. We worked in religious working groups, tolerance groups, anti-Semitic groups, etc.
All right, gentlemen. Mr. Sliwa, Rosemary has a specific question for you, but I'll give you
Zohran, this is what disturbs me about you. You will be celebrating your birthday this weekend. In 1991, I was in the streets of Crown Heights with the Guardian Angels for 30 days and 30 nights when the first Democratic Socialist mayor of New York City, that's right, David Dinkins, was a proud member of the Democratic Socialists of America, abandoned the Jews for 3 days. They were left to their own means. And we protected them for 30 days and 30 nights.
What the fuck are you talking about, you fucking schizophrenic? Like, what? Huh?
This has to be revisionism.
This is some like weird like, oh man, the actions of one other random guy that Zohran has no relation to whatsoever. That means he's gonna like I don't know, like abandon Jews to like a particular fate or some shit. What the fuck does that even mean? What?
I know. Yeah.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, and probably most New Yorkers are like 1991. I wasn't even born then. You know, I was born in '89, and I was like what 2 years old in '91. No one was there for that. Like, come on, man. Yeah.
Then your favorite mayor, Bill de Blasio, in 2019, abandoned the Jews again when they were being attacked in Williamsburg and Borough Park and Crown Heights, and I had to bring the Guardian Angels in for 30 days, 30 nights. Jews don't trust that you are going to be there for them when they are victims of anti-Semitic attacks.
Okay. Brief response, Mr. Mamdani. We have a specific question for you from Rosemary, but Mr. Mamdani, please.
I agree, by the way.
One of the most meaningful experiences I've had over the course of this campaign has been the conversations I've had with Jewish New Yorkers. Jewish New Yorkers who've told me about the door that they've had to lock that they had kept open for 40 years. Jewish New Yorkers who've told me on the M57 about an apartment the speech therapist was trying to sell when a realtor told her, put the Jewish books off the table. Jewish New Yorkers who've told me about their fear in living in this city. And I will be a mayor who finally addresses that, not through the theatrics of the politics on the stage, but through action. I'll do that by ensuring that we have police officers outside of synagogues on the high holy days.
Gentlemen, we have a lot to get to, and we do have a specific question for Mr. Sliwa.
Why did they cut him off? That's weird. They're giving like double, triple time to Cuomo.
Yeah, they're letting the complete morons just come up with they just say the stupid fucking 3 IQ attacks. But you know, the guy who's having to deal with the attacks, nah, you can't respond to any of that shit. It's so fucking stupid, man. This shit is so fucking dumb.
Yeah, I mean, he's handling this very well. He's handling this extremely well. It's just that, this is like when I remember the primary debate when they were cutting Zohran off at every opportunity.
Well, they can't do that anymore because if they were to do that, that would make them look really, really bad because he's the current front runner now. Like, they can't pull that shit.
Yeah, and it would play into Zohran's hands anyway, because people would see, oh, he was unfairly treated during the debate, so they might sympathize with him more. Like it's only W's from here on out for him, dude.
Rosemary.
Thank you, David.
Yeah.
Mr. Sliwa, you've called for tougher policing of pro-Palestinian protests, and you've suggested that Mr. Mamdani uses languages that is anti-Semitic. How do you assure New Yorkers that you'll be the mayor for all?
Well, I've been there for all people in all times for 46 years as leader of the Guardian Angels here and around the world. Whether it is a
dude, even though you were caught on fucking camera doing a random citizen's arrest of some dude because you thought he was like speaking Spanish, bro. Like, let's not fucking forget about that. Like, he was caught on camera doing a racist attack on some random fucking dude that him and his like little collection of fucking freaks and weirdos thought was being a little too fucking Spanish. It's like, okay, bro, yeah, totally. You're gonna be you're gonna be
racial profiling.
Yeah, you're gonna be the dude who's gonna, like, I don't know, help save New Yorkers or whatever. Yeah, it's complete like conjecture from this motherfucker.
As they choose in a mosque, in a church, in a synagogue, or a shul, whether it's because of racial identity. Remember, in the summer of 2020, Asians were under constant attack because of the lockdown and pandemic. I don't remember Governor Cuomo coming to their aid. You were the governor then.
Not because of the lockdown. It was, again, he will never admit that it was the right wing who were pushing all that. Like, no one on the left was pushing that conspiracy theory because we're not like that. Yeah. I don't, like,
Stop Asian hate existed because of people like fucking Curtis Sliwa. Like, that's why.
In the summer of 2020, you were the governor then. I was out there going into all the neighborhoods, Flushing, Bayside. We were in down in Bensonhurst. We were in Chinatown itself, where Asians were being attacked indiscriminately because they were thought to be carrying COVID. We protected them then. Governor, you were not there for them. De Blasio was not there for them. We understand hate. And in order to counteract hate, You have to get
I mean, you know how to hate. That's for sure.
the community involved along with the police to protect people when they're under siege. Jews are under attack now more than ever before. And I don't believe either of you have the capabilities of protecting them with increased anti-Semitism.
That is pure fiction. I passed the no hate in our state, the strongest hate crime law in the United States of America. We tolerate no hatred, no discrimination. We are from every place on this globe.
Then what happened at Columbia University? You know, with the protests. What happened to Mahmoud Khalil? What happened to all these people?
I wonder. I don't see Cuomo doing much about any of that stuff. Our big cummy boy.
Okay, no hate. You didn't stop ICE. You didn't stop. I'm trying to think. There were a few other. I mean, there were a few other people from Colombia who got taken by ICE. Mahmoud Khalil was only the first of many.
Ramesa Ozturk.
She's Colombia. She was at Columbia too, right? Or Cooney? I forget which one.
No. No. She was in Pennsylvania, I think.
Yeah. Never mind. Yeah, UPenn. She was at UPenn, I think. Mm-hmm. But anyways, regardless, like, okay, what the anti-hate law is there's no effect of it. Like, how are you enforcing it? There's no enforcement.
Unless it's you that's perpetrating
Excuse me, and we're tolerant and we accept. If you notice, the Assemblyman still won't say he believes that Israel has the right to exist as a Jewish state. He is a divisive personality all across the board. NYPD
I can't believe that Zohran Mamdani says that there shouldn't be a Jewish ethno-state. How dare he say that there's no Jewish ethno-state? How dare he?
How dare he campaign for equal rights in the region when Democrats are all about equal rights?
Inconceivable.
I know. How could he? The horror.
And he gave the finger to the Christopher Columbus statue. By the way,
he gave the finger to the
Are you serious, bro? Christopher Columbus? Again, this is the dude who needs to get Zohran Mamdani voters. Does he really think that Zohran Mamdani voters are going to be a fan of Christopher fucking Columbus? Okay, bro. Nice meme. It's actually fucking a wallahi fucking cooked, bro.
Yeah, the only sane human here. Yeah, maybe in the moderators probably too. The moderators, I mean, they have to be is like, I guess it's their journalistic, I don't know, obligation. It's subjective, but yeah, I mean, yeah, the moderators have been pretty good so far. I will give that to them.
Yeah, your laws with no cash.
Just say 6-7. Yeah, you'll win everything. Yeah, exactly.
Bail, turn the haters right back in the street to violate and attack again and again and again. You're the reason for that. No cash bail.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Thank you.
There have been a number of absolutely unfounded lies that have been said by Andrew Cuomo. I would just like a moment to address them directly. I've said time and again that I recognize Israel's right to exist. I've said that I will not recognize any states. I said that I will not.
As a Jewish state.
If I would be allowed to finish, that I would not recognize any state's right to exist with a system of hierarchy on the basis of race or religion. I have made that very clear. And part of that is because I'm an American who believes in the importance of equal rights being enshrined in every single country, whether we're speaking about Israel or whether we're speaking about Saudi Arabia. You can stand here and you can lie all you want, but New Yorkers are
We answered the question. We want
to address some issues here.
All right, and we have another polarizing issue that
like,
we'd love to discuss.
basically, I mean, Zohran Mamdani pretty much answered that pretty much perfectly. Like, let's be honest here. Because he just got Andrew Cuomo to basically admit, like, he's just okay with an ethno-state. Like,
yep.
Like, you're okay with an ethno-state then, little bro. Like, I don't know what else to say. You want an ethno-state.
Well, and here's the thing. Israel constantly poses itself to the world. They constantly, are posing themselves to the world as, like, the only democracy in the Middle East. Zohran wants it to be a democratic state, no matter, I don't know, call it Israel, call it whatever you want, call it Palestine. That Israel poses themselves to the world as an equal democratic state with equal rights. Zohran wants that. What's the problem, right? It just seems, it just proves your point that, like, that Cuomo does not want it to be a democracy. He wants it to continue being this ethno-religious apartheid state. So yeah, again, this is playing into Zohran has successfully played every single question into his hands. How is he doing this? He keeps getting away with it.
I can't believe he's getting away with it.
Yeah, I know.
The National Guard here in the city of New York. Now let's go back to Mr. President Donald Trump. One threat hanging over the city is the deployment of the National Guard troops, like he has done, as you all know, in other cities. The NYPD commissioner has rejected the idea as unnecessary, but the president ordered troops to hit the streets of New York. Now, how would you respond? Mr. Sliwa, you have a minute.
There's no need for the National Guard in New York. Kathy Hochul, the governor, when we had a crime crisis in the subways that I'm well familiar with, being down there all the time, unlike my two adversaries, she sent 750 National Guardsmen down into the subways in 2024. Remember the horrible case of Debrina Kawan? Does anybody even say her name anymore? That woman was set on fire by that migrant as a result of that, the worst crime I've ever seen committed in the subway system, the governor did the right thing. She sent an additional two.
Okay, is he trying to imply that all migrants are going to set women on fire?
I mean, in the mind
That's
of
kind
him,
of
yeah.
what he's. Yeah.
Yeah,
Come
in
on,
his
what
mind.
are you insinuating, man?
Mhm.
And of course, he's saying that with, an immigrant next to him on stage. Nice meme.
250 National Guardsmen, giving us a total of 1,000 National Guardsmen in the subway system, while our mayor, Eric Adams, was telling us it was all a perception. So Governor Hochul has responded. I would tell the President of the United States, since I'm familiar with cities all across America having guardian angels there, if you were going to send the National Guard, you don't need to send them to New York City. There are other cities that could desperately use their help in dealing with their crime crisis.
Thank you, Mr. Sliwa. Mr. Mamdani, how will you respond?
I agree with Police Commissioner Tish in that we do not need the National Guard here in New York City. We do not need them for the purpose of safety, because if it was safety that President Trump was so concerned about, he would send them to the 8 out of 10 states that have the highest levels of crime in this country.
Yeah,
exactly. Louisiana, Tennessee, Texas.
Way more fucking
I don't know
crime in
Texas
comparison. Texas.
Yeah,
is up
Alabama. Yeah, friggin' Alabama, Florida. Florida's really bad. Like, I have never been to Florida once in my life, and I know people are like, oh, I love living here, and then they realize like how much crime there is, and they just come running back to California. It's so funny. Like, I know like at least 5 different people who moved out of California. They're back.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Classic.
Anyways. But he won't, because they're all run by Republicans. What New Yorkers need is a mayor who can stand up to Donald Trump and actually deliver on that safety. When Donald Trump sent ICE agents on people in Los Angeles, Andrew Cuomo said that New Yorkers need not overreact. That is the furthest answer that New Yorkers are looking for. They are looking for someone who will lead, someone who will say that they will have their back, someone who will actually fight for the people of the city. And that's who I am, because I'm not funded by the same donors that gave us Donald Trump's second term, which isn't something that Andrew Cuomo can say.
Thank you,
Amen, brother.
Mr. Mamdani,
Yeah, first, the answer in the subways is not more National Guard. I put the National Guard in the subways also. It's more NYPD is the answer. But the National Guard is not, he's not sending in the National Guard to do any real function. It's control, it's power. He's trying to say these Democrats don't know how to run these cities, and it's a political gesture by sending in the National Guard. He has said if the assemblyman is elected, he will take over New York. Forget the National Guard.
But this is
he has said, I'm going to take the funds.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he's gonna take over New York in comparison to you, who's just going to let the ICE Gestapo freaks just gallivant about because of that fucking DOJ investigation that's hanging over your head. Like, the reason why you don't think he's going to send fucking National Guard in New York City is because he knows, or Trump in this particular case, knows he's got you by the fucking balls, my dude. Like, that's why. It's so stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Cuomo isn't exactly giving us reassurance here that he's going to fight for New Yorkers. He's just saying, it's a little political issue, guys. It's just a little disagreement. Keep us shy. Don't worry about it. It's like, no.
No, this is not a political disagreement. Again, it's all about the authoritarian power grab for him. That's what Trump wants ultimately.
Yeah, and it's a danger to New Yorkers. And if you're the mayor, you got to look out for the New Yorkers, man. That's it.
To 20 cities when I was governor. You know what city he didn't send them to? New York. Why? Because I said to him, don't you dare, we don't need it, and he backed down, and he will again.
Because of you, buddy.
Wait a second. The president is going to back down to you, Andrew Cuomo. I know you think you're the toughest guy alive, but let me tell you something. You lost your own primary, right? You were rejected by your Democrats.
Why
and you have a difficult...
That's funny.
This is actually a good call out. This
funny.
is actually the first time I'm agreeing with Sliwa this whole time.
That's funny.
Understanding that what the term no is. You're not going to stand up to Donald Trump.
I agree with Curtis.
You're not going to stand up to Donald Trump. And he can't stand up to Donald Trump, who knocked him right on his toes.
You negotiate with him. You don't fight with him, because only the people of New York City will lose.
You have to stand up to negotiate.
I'd like to see a show of hands. Are there any circumstances where any of you would allow the NYPD to cooperate with the National Guard if Trump sent them to New York? Show of hands. Yes? No takers. Okay. Moving on. If history as a guide, National Guard troops in the city could trigger protests. And we have questions for each of you about how you would handle that. So, Mr. Sliwa, you have been arrested for protesting migrant housing and for trying to serve Mayor Bill de Blasio with court papers. How would your NYPD handle protests? And would you continue participating in protests as mayor? You have 1 minute.
Well, I've been arrested oftentimes in civil disobedience. That is a great American right. But demonstrations have a time and a place. And it used to be, before Bill de Blasio, I know he was your favorite mayor, Zohran Mamdani, that you'd have to get a permit. There's a time period you were in.
I don't think, again, the Bill de Blasio comparison is really stupid, right?
Yeah, it's kind of pointless.
Yeah, and I don't think Zohran has said, I'm the next... He's never said, I'm the next Bill de Blasio. He's never said that. So why are they attributing this to him? I don't know. Are they trying to do the anti-communist line? Seems like that's...
Yeah, I had no idea that fucking Bill de Blasio is a fucking communist. That's news to me, dude.
No way, guys.
Whoa.
I had no idea he was top Sheeing the whole time. No idea.
True.
In a structured area, you can get a sound permit, it could be turned around in a day. If there was going to be civil disobedience, you discussed it with the police department, and obviously you had an opportunity of expressing your anger or your outrage at whatever it was that motivated you to sit down in the street, to block traffic or block an egress. Now we have rampaging groups that go running through the streets, that enter all kinds of facilities and violate other people's rights. And there's no one who's willing to stop it. When I'm the mayor, there are rules and regulations. Everybody has a right to demonstrate, but you can't violate other people's rights, or you yourself must be arrested. And I would remove the face coverings. Remove those face coverings. Why are you afraid of identifying who you are as a demonstrator, unless maybe you're an agent provocateur who's been sent in here to cause chaos?
What the heck, dude? Like, okay, so a minute earlier, sorry, let me just get at this. A minute earlier, he was saying, oh, it's my right to protest and civil disobedience, and now he's browbeating everyone else for doing exactly that in the streets.
Yeah, isn't he fucking talking?
Get out of here, bro.
Isn't he talking about ICE agents wearing a match?
Oh, yeah. Was he talking about ICE agents or protesters?
Play that back again. I'm not sure.
Yeah, replay.
The street to block traffic. There was going to be civil disobedience. You discussed it with. It used to be before Bill de Blasio. I know he was your favorite mayor, Zohran Mamdani. That you'd have to get a permit. There's a time period you were in a structured area. You get a sound permit. It could be turned around in a day. If there was going to be civil disobedience, you discussed it with the police department, and obviously you had an opportunity of expressing your anger or your outrage at whatever it was that motivated you to sit down in the street, to block traffic or block an egress. Now we have rampaging groups that go running
do
through
that
the streets,
anyways, bro.
That enter all.
Like, they do that all the fucking time anyways, you fucking dipshit. You're still the exact same motherfucking guy who just randomly did a citizen's arrest on someone who you thought was a little too fucking Hispanic. Like, you did that, buddy. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, man.
Who's doing violence? Who's doing violence out here, man?
Yeah, it is so stupid.
So I think in the next part, he's talking about protesters specifically. I don't think he's talking about ICE.
Kinds of facilities and violate other people's rights. And there's no one who's willing to stop it. When I'm the mayor, there are rules and regulations. Everybody has a right to demonstrate, but you can't violate other people's rights, or you yourself must be arrested. And I would remove the face coverings. Remove those face coverings.
Yes, because like protesters wear those to avoid facial recognition by drone, all that kind of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's asking like remove, and in fact, a lot of cities in America, you've probably covered this on your stream, but like how a lot of cities in America ban face coverings for this exact reason, even though there's disease going around, respiratory illness going around. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, that's he kind of just wants to do the same thing. It's the Republican playbook.
Yep.
Why are you afraid of identifying who you are as a demonstrator, unless maybe you're an agent provocateur who's been sent in here to cause chaos?
Thank you. Rosarina?
The next question goes to you, Mr. Mamdani. You were arrested for blocking traffic in a pro-Palestinian protest, and you participated in a sit-in at Grand Central. Protesters offered block streets, bridges, and hubs like Grand Central. How much of that would you allow as mayor, and what's your line in having the NYPD arrest protesters? You have a minute.
Protest is a part of what makes this city's history what it is. It is a part of the First Amendment. We deserve to have a mayor who stands up for that First Amendment, especially as we have a president that's looking to shred it at each and every opportunity. And we will continue to have protests in this city, as we should, no matter who is the mayor. And the line will be on the question of breaking the law. What we have today, however, is an attempt to intimidate so many who are looking to use that freedom of expression to share their opinions about the city and the world around them. And to be frank with you, what New Yorkers are looking for is someone who can show leadership in City Hall. Because when they don't see that leadership, that's when so many take to the streets. And if you had a leader like Andrew Cuomo, who was telling people not to overreact, when they see ICE agents abducting girls as young as 6 years old to deport them, many New Yorkers will take to the streets. We deserve to have a leader who will actually be following through on the values of the city. That's the leader that I'll be.
Mr. Mamdani, just a quick follow-up. If you're elected, would you still participate in protests?
No, if I'm elected, I'll be the mayor, and I'll be leading the city from City Hall.
But no participation in protests, right?
The important thing is to lead from City Hall. That's what I'll be doing.
Okay.
Yeah. If I may respond, because I believe
that is actually a good answer, because they're trying to gotcha him, like, oh, you're gonna be the
you're gonna be an activist fucking mayor or something, like some stupid LARP shit like that.
Yeah, what are you? Yeah, you're a cute little activist. Like they're just trying to like infantilize him, which is really stupid. Frankly, really stupid.
My name was invoked.
A very brief response, and then I have a question for you.
I dealt with ICE. I stood up with ICE. I had a war with ICE here in New York when I was governor.
Stood up with ICE, eh? You were buddies with ICE, eh?
Interesting way to put it.
Interesting. Yeah. I wonder
gonna
why
see
you
here,
stood with
folks,
ICE.
right?
Yeah, I wonder why you're standing up with ICE.
And I stood them down, and they moved out. What the assemblyman is saying is, he doesn't believe in law and order. He believes in defunding the police, disarming the police, disbanding the police. That's who he is.
Cuomo,
Abolish jails.
Sorry, a question for you. Okay, 15 seconds, rebuttal, Mr. Mamdani, and then we'll do just 15 seconds because we have a question for Mr. Cuomo.
Mr. Cuomo lies again and again and again. I am not running to defund the police. I am running to actually work with the police to deliver public safety. Andrew Cuomo says that he has stood up to ICE. He has not said a word about the abductions that are happening right now.
He's referring to a previous comment you made, and we will get back to this. But Mr. Cuomo, a question for you.
It's a comment he made.
I said that. Yeah, I understand. I said that. As governor, you put the National Guard on standby during the George Floyd protest. You didn't deploy them. As mayor, talk about how you would balance the right to protest with maintaining order in the streets.
The right to protest is a sacred right. There is no doubt about that. But the law is the law also. And you have New Yorkers now who are afraid in this city. They're afraid of Donald Trump coming.
This isn't. New Yorkers are not going to buy this line.
Yeah, not especially from this dude who they know is like working with the fucking administration. It's not going to work. Like, people already know. Like, buddy, they already know that you're fucking bought. Like, unironically. The only ones who may not think that you're bought are, like, I don't know, weirdo dipshits, like, from, like, Staten Island or some shit. Like, those are the only people.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, I've actually talked about how it's like, it's New York versus Staten Island. That's this election.
Afraid of that anarchy, and they're afraid of the anarchy in the city itself. We have to provide public safety that makes New Yorkers feel safe. Demonstration is one thing. Violating the law is something else. Blocking public transit is something else. Stopping students from going to class is something else. Harassment, intimidation, that's a hate crime. That's illegal. Enforce the law. Respect the police.
Then what's demonstration for if it's not doing any sort of it's just
also
it's just
this is shit that's just not happening. He's doing like the same stupid Columbia school, like all the Jewish students are getting like blocked fucking bullshit. That's not happening. It's nonsense.
Yeah, this isn't gonna land with New Yorkers.
Police. They're not racists, as the assemblyman calls them. They're not a threat to public safety, as he says. They're not anti-queer.
They are all of those things. I mean,
history would say otherwise.
Stonewall.
Stonewall, like that happened in New York. You dumbass. You were alive during Stonewall.
And it's funny because the mayor of New York and like all the New York City officials, they celebrate, they remember that day, right? They have a memorial to it, and yet you have a memorial to dissent. You have a memorial to protests. And yet you don't like protests. Make it make sense.
They are here to protect New Yorkers, work with them, fortify them.
You know, that's ironic that you say that now,
I'm sorry,
Andrew Cuomo, because when you were governor for 8 years, your parole board released 43 cop killers back into the street.
Okay,
your father, when he was governor, released none. I knew Mario Cuomo. You know Mario Cuomo.
I mean, okay, well, I don't know.
Yeah, who cares? Just move on. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Andrew Cuomo.
You released Mr. Sliwa. Don't say you're pro. If you want to respond briefly to the comments that Mr. Cuomo raised about things you've said about police, you can do a brief response to that.
I have been clear time and time again that as much as Andrew Cuomo wants to bring up tweets from 2020, which is around the same time that he was sending seniors to their death in nursing homes, I am looking to work with police officers, not to defund the NYPD, looking to ensure that officers can actually do one job when they're signing up to join that department. Not the many jobs we're asking them to do today.
He was specifically referring to comments you made. We will come back to that, but we're out of time.
They are corrupt and racist.
We're moving.
Why the interruption? He was answering your question. God, these moderators, dude.
That's what you said. Your words.
We're moving on. Thank you. Despite record low crime numbers, polls show that crime remains a top concern for New York City voters. The three of you have very different approaches to crime fighting and how to manage the NYPD. We want to get into your plans. So we'll start with this question. It's a two-part question, but it's short. How will you make the city safer? And how will you change the NYPD? You'll have 1 minute. We begin with Mr. Cuomo.
I would add 5,000. Well, let's take a step back. Remember what happened. The far left, the socialists said defund the police, defund the police. They took $1 billion out of the police. The NYPD is now down at one of the lowest levels in modern political history. I would add 5,000 police, put 1,500 in the subways, raise the starting salary because you can't hire them. You can't even fill a class right now. And you have to add additional police officers because the attrition rate is so high. Part of that is going to be saying to the NYPD, I respect you. I don't think you're wicked, as the assemblyman said. I don't think you're corrupt. I don't think you're racist. I value you. I will have your back. I'll be a mayor to work with you. That's how you're going to get the police to apply for the jobs. And then we have to work on the relationship between the community and the police. The police can't police the community. They have to police with the community.
You're up next, Mr.
The fuck does that even mean? Yeah, if the fucking goddamn community has no trust in the police because of how ridiculously corrupt that it is, like, they're not gonna want to work with the fucking police, you dumbass. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, hello? That is so stupid.
Yeah, you have to. The police are. They have to build trust with the community, right? It goes both ways.
Yeah, most fucking police members are coming out of the fucking suburbs. That they don't even live in fucking New York. I wonder why people don't have trust with the police. You idiot.
Yeah.
Just like you, motherfucker. You're also from the fucking suburbs. Coming into the fucking city thinking that you can run it in some, I don't know, manner that's better than Zohran Mamdani, who actually lives within the fucking city. You don't. You're just a fucking outsider trying to impose your own fucking will and doctrine on people who clearly do not want it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. We should just call him the outsider. Yeah, there you go.
This is amazing. I'm standing here with my two adversaries, both of whom have threatened to defund the police. You, Andrew Cuomo, during the summer of 2020, you said, if you don't reform police departments, I'm going to defund you. And you certainly said that, Zohran Mamdani. We need 7,000 police. We only have 32,500. The problem in recruiting police...
Only 32,000. Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it needs to be 10 million. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
You remember the bit that Walter Masterson did? I think it was at New York City Council, or one of those. I think it might have been at Queens Council, where he, what was it? He was saying that, like, basically, if you want the most safety in New York, have everyone become a cop, so no one is a criminal.
True.
10 million cops, yeah, or 20 million.
20 trillion cops, exactly.
True.
Which neither of you are addressing, is that your insurance was stripped from them. The state, you did nothing when you were governor, and here in the city, 2021, the city council and Eric Adams did nothing. They don't have qualified immunity, which you benefited from, Andrew Cuomo, with the 13 lawsuits filed against you for sexual harassment. Tom DiNapoli says we're paying out $60 million. Why? Because
I mean,
it's good.
That's a gem, but he gets some stuff right. Yeah, there you go. This is a good call out.
This is a good
You
call
had your
out.
qualified immunity as governor, and yet people have stood by as police have lost their insurance that all civil servants have. That's why you can't get recruits in, because they're not insured. I will return their qualified immunity because they need to be protected like other civil servants.
That is not New York State.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
New York City
Yeah, man.
on the
Qualified
insurance.
immunity is needed for the cops so they can keep doing, I don't know, like rape and pillage of the communities that they're supposed to protect. Yeah, bro. Totally. It's going to be great.
Yeah, qualified immunity has gone way too far. Like, I get maybe okay.
Yeah, I get like the idea behind it is that like it's
with like violent crime.
Yeah, like violent crime and stuff. Yeah, sure, but like it doesn't work out that way. It's so fucking stupid. It's all about like in reality, just police unions being able to just protect themselves and protect their more like heinous members. That's the point of it.
Yep. Yeah, okay, let's get
immunity.
I'll go faster.
You are entitled to free legal counsel, which is what he's referring to.
Yes.
You have spent.
Yes, but it's New York City that has revoked qualified immunity. It's not insurance. It's qualified immunity. It's nothing to do with insurance.
So that protected you in all these lawsuits.
And yes, the lawsuits, because there was a report filed. I said it was political. It turned out to be political, and that's why.
All 13 women were lying? Come on, Ian.
Keeps on lying, dude.
True. He's right. If he's right, when he's right, he's right. He's correct about this one. Man, all 13 of them are lying? Oh, yeah, sure, totally. I believe that.
All 13 women were lying.
After 5 years.
A state trooper, too?
Yeah, after 5 years, 5 DAs, 5 years of litigation, I was dropped from the case.
Mr. Mamdani, how will you
once
make?
in a while.
Okay, Mr. Mamdani, how will you make the city safer, and how will you change the NYPD?
Thank you. This is the concern for so many New Yorkers, and I'm proud to have a comprehensive plan to bring new ideas to the city. If you want more of the same, vote for Andrew Cuomo. If you want an actual approach to lower crime, look at our Department of Community Safety. That is something that has been hailed by experts as addressing so many of the pieces of why New Yorkers are not feeling safe today. We will ensure that no longer are police officers asked to do the job of both policing and responding to the mental health crisis. We will have dedicated teams of mental health outreach workers in the top 100 subway stations with the highest levels of the mental health crisis and homelessness. We will ensure that cops can finally go back to the response times they used to have in 2020, closer to 11 minutes, as opposed to the closer to 16 minutes today, because they won't be asked to respond to the 200,000 mental health calls that are coming in through 911 every year. This is evidence-based. It's been successful elsewhere in the country.
By the way, literally, when everyone is talking about defund the police, this is exactly what they mean by defund the police. But all these motherfuckers are going to play into the media narrative where it's just like, you're just going to take all the funding away from police departments and make sure that they don't exist anymore. It's like, no, that's not what they're talking about. It's so fucking stupid.
Zohran Mamdani, we already had it. It's called the homeless outreach unit.
I'm sorry, this is not free for all. We have another question for Mr. Mamdani.
Bill de Blasio funded them by $4 billion out of the budget.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Mr. Mamdani, we're going to talk about disciplining police officers. The civilian watchdog that investigates police misconduct regularly recommends discipline for cops accused of wrongdoing, but the police commissioner often overrides them. You want to change that policy so that the board has final say. Please explain to viewers in 30 seconds why you believe the police commissioner should no longer have that final say.
What I've said is that I think it's time to remove much of the politics out of the question of accountability. We have the Civilian Complaint Review Board, which, as you said, studies, assesses, and investigates into complaints of abuse and the violation of the law. And oftentimes, those recommendations are then subject to political pressures and not followed through on. I think New Yorkers deserve a system where they know it won't then be assessed once again that there's actually more to the recommendation in the investigation that's being done by the CCO.
Okay, we're wrapping up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mamdani. Mr. Cuomo, do you believe changes are needed for how officers are disciplined? And are there any powers that you would give up as mayor? You have 30 seconds.
Yeah, I would not remove the police commissioner from the CCRB. I'd leave it with the police commissioner. I think Commissioner Tish is doing a very good job. I would trust her. The difference between me
when she hasn't done a good job. I don't know. I'd have to look into her record, but it doesn't
No,
sound like she's done a good job.
From what I understand, I mean, both Zohran Mamdani and I think Andrew Cuomo are saying that she's done a good job. Like, Zohran Mamdani likes her due to the fact that she's been removing corruption from the upper echelons of the NYPD, which is a good thing because the NYPD is incredibly, incredibly corrupt.
Yeah, I mean, they've always been. So.
And the assemblyman is, he doesn't like the police. That's why he won't hire more police when everyone else says we need more police. He wants to use social workers on domestic violence calls, which are very dangerous. And he's told you what he thinks. He thinks the police are racist, wicked, corrupt, and a threat to public safety.
Yeah, and he's also said that if the fucking situation is dangerous...
all he can speak about are the...
Sorry.
He's also said that if those fucking goddamn situations are as dangerous as they are, then basically, like, he's gonna have the police go with that fucking social worker. Again, how is every other country not having a problem with this, with de-escalatory policies and social workers working on this? France, the UK, the Nordic countries, every other fucking goddamn country has no problems with this whatsoever, except with the United States of America. Because punitiveness is the fucking point. They just want fucking punishment. Same with Andrew Cuomo. He just wants to punish the poorest for being poor because he's a fucking rich, out-of-touch elitist.
Cuomo, give every NYPD cop a Honda Goldwing motorcycle and everyone will love them. It's simple. Yeah, just go straight to the point. Exactly.
Tweets of the past in 2020. Those are tweets which I have apologized for to New Yorkers and police officers directly, and they are not what I'm actually running on. They're incapable of actually speaking about the platform that we have here, which is one that will keep New Yorkers safe.
Can we just quickly ask you, because I think what some people feel they haven't heard from you, we hear you saying that you don't believe that anymore and you've apologized. People have not heard you sort of describe the evolution of your thought, how you got from there to here.
You know, growing up in this city, I would think often about safety and...
He said this on Fox News yesterday, but I guess, you know, for the second time.
Justice. And
I mean, you know, everyone does have goldfish memory.
That's true, especially in politics.
When I learned about the exonerated five, when I learned about Sean Bell, when I learned about Eric Garner, when I learned about Michael Brown, and then in 2020, when I wrote these tweets, learning about the death of George Floyd. And that was a moment where it felt as if the distance between these two ideals had never been further. And in becoming an assembly member and serving and representing more than 100,000 people in Queens, learning that to deliver justice means to also deliver safety. And that means leading a city where you recognize the bravery of the men and women who joined the NYPD and put their lives on the line. It means representing the Muslims who are illegally surveilled in my district and the black and brown New Yorkers who have been victims of police brutality.
So, Mr. Sliwa, you've been out there, you've been on the trains, and I would like to know if you believe changes are needed of how officers are disciplined.
Let me just suggest, Zohran, what you've suggested.
Zohran, Curtis.
Zohran, excuse me. Let me just suggest.
The correction, yes.
At least, listen, I'll give this to Sliwa. At least he's willing to be fucking considerate when corrections are issued. Hey, listen.
Yeah, unlike
Andrew Cuomo, who's a petty little bitch.
You know, slightly more petty. He's, you know, Sliwa's petty in his own ways. Anyways, yeah, that's...
What you have proposed with this new police outreach unit will endanger women and children in domestic violence situations. I know I've been involved in so many of them with the Guardian Angel. They will be killed. They will be maimed. Number two, in dealing with emotionally disturbed persons that I have dealt with for all my years as a Guardian Angel, you need trained professional police officers. Yes, you can have mental health workers.
One of the first off, it's not about trained professional police officers. We all know the kind of training police officers get specifically. It's all the warrior ethos, LARP code bullshit, where it's essentially shoot first, ask questions later. If you bring that into a domestic violence situation, do you really think that these like pig-headed morons are going to be able to make the necessary judgments needed in order to fucking tell who is the one being beaten in a fucking domestic violence situation? I personally, no, I don't fucking think so. And second, the reason why you need fucking social workers to be there instead, because they know how to make those fucking judgments, because they've been trained to do that. Like, training more police to do that when they're already being expected to do so much other fucking bullshit. It's just like, no, dude. Like, even as Zohran himself has said, like, a ton of people have been leaving the fucking police force of the NYPD because of all the responsibilities that they've been fucking saddled with. So it's like, okay, bro, whatever, nice meme.
Yep, exactly.
It's all just an excuse to give them more money. Like, that's all that it is. They just want to give police more money, which is exactly what New Yorkers want. Man, they would love the NYPD, that corrupt shithole fucking military force, to get more fucking money. That's exactly what they want.
Yeah, I probably have to look on Open Secret. So I'm curious if companies or, well, maybe PACs that involve them. So you remember I've talked about the company. I've talked about them on stream before, but like on my stream at least. Remember that company I showed you, what's it called? Flock Safety? They do like surveillance drones and stuff like that, or gunshot detectors, things like that. So they will, they're a private company. They harvest tons of data, and of course they work with ICE and Border Patrol. So
Palantir type shit, right?
Yeah, they obviously, yeah, they do use Palantir's like services, or at least like send data to them. So the thing is that like I wonder if Flock Safety is a contributor to either of these two campaigns, Cuomo or Sliwa. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they probably contributed to Eric Adams' campaign before he bowed out, but I'm wondering if that's sort of informing the narrative here. Maybe. I really wonder because giving more money to the police means Flock Safety gets their cut too, right? Pretty much every cop would pull a gun before someone could pull their ID out. Oh yeah, because even on because they can't, and plus police don't do a good job of distinguishing between because they treat everything as a violent crime when it's not. Like they don't know how to de-escalate. And like you said, even in Canada, they do a pretty good job of de-escalating. Now, are they great at it? No. Look at how they treat Indigenous people. But that's a whole other. That's something. I mean, that's. That's I guess a similarity between the U.S. and Canada police. But yeah, U.S. police are particularly bad about it. As someone from India as well, I could tell you. Police in South Asia, they're even worse about it. They resort to physical violence way too often. It's really bad. So what I would say to these two is, hey, do you want us to become like India's authoritarian, physically violent police? Yeah, like making the comparison to India.
True.
Toronto cops aren't the best. I've heard. Yeah. I've heard that like Canadian cops are good on only a few things really. Like they are a little more de-escalatory, but I've heard.
Yeah, they won't pull a gun out. Yeah, they won't pull a gun out on you immediately. They hardly will pull out the gun. They're trained a little better. They don't have the warrior ethos, LARP shit, or get sent to Israel as well. That doesn't happen.
That's good. But yeah, they're not perfect, of course. No one is.
It was done before by the homeless outreach, and the guy you thought was the best mayor, Bill de Blasio, disbanded.
Mr. Sliwa, thank you. Brief response?
To be very clear, the Department of Community Safety is not about responding to calls of domestic violence. We are speaking about mental health crisis and the homelessness crisis. These are the focuses of the work that they're doing.
We have other questions for that a little later in the debate, but we want to just change the pace a little bit, candidates, switching gears to the high cost of living in New York City. To kick us off, we have a few quick pocketbook questions that New Yorkers wrestle with daily. So we want to know how much you spend a week on groceries. We'll begin with you, Mr. Cuomo.
Depends how many times my daughters come over, but probably about $150.
Okay, Mr. Sliwa?
I doubt he spends that little on groceries.
$150 a week? I don't know about that one. Like, I mean,
yeah,
Cuomo's a fucking millionaire.
This week was 180.
I mean, Cuomo's a fucking millionaire, so it's just like, okay, yeah, totally.
It's nothing for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's nothing for him. Like, it's, whereas like with Zohran Mamdani, he makes kind of the same income I make, right? He makes sort of like, a corporate six-figure income, essentially. That's his net worth. So, it's going to be a lot more of a dent in the pocket for him versus Cuomo, or Sliwa. I don't know how much Sliwa's really worth. Probably more than
probably
a lot.
I think he's probably also a millionaire, right? I don't know. We could take a look into that. I'm curious about that as well.
Yeah, we could.
It
might be like real estate or whatever.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was also like didn't make that much money at all. Curtis Sliwa net worth 500,000. Because he is a radio show host, right? He used to be that.
Yeah.
Radio show host apparently. I think that's about it. Like, he's not a millionaire. I didn't think he was a millionaire because he doesn't seem like the type to be like an out of touch fucking millionaire. He's just like a fucking weirdo, like nationalist slash racist kind of a dude. But the many wives of Sliwa, r/New York City. Something about $30 million in here. I mean, this is a Reddit thread, so.
Yeah, grain of salt. Yeah.
If Mamdani had 15 fucking cats, they'd burst. Socialist oh, okay, that's about Zohran Mamdani. So, okay, it's some like salty dipshits on Reddit. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Now we have some like stupid LARP morons. Okay. Nope, there's nothing here.
Amazing. Yeah. But
so,
anyways,
like, maybe
regardless of net worth.
Yeah, maybe like 500K or something is what I'm seeing, but that's about it.
Yeah.
He's not
based on the best.
Well, I mean, it makes sense still. Also. Like, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, he doesn't talk like the slick type politician or anything. He's just like a fucking authentic like nationalist, more or less.
Yeah, he's just the unk down the street. That's who he is.
Oh, I'd say about $175 with a gallon of milk, now $5 and always rising up. Loaf of bread, simple loaf of bread. It used to be 99 cents. It's like $3 now. The price is too.
Mr. Sliwa, thank you. It's a brief answer. Thank you, Mr. Mamdani.
I actually agree with Curtis on that. It is too costly. Now that eggs are down to less than $4, though, my average spend every week is about $125, $150.
All right. Do you care?
Yeah, I mean, that's about what I spend. Yeah. So I am so much like this guy. I'm mid-30s. I'm from northern India. I got the beard and the mustache. Like I'm so much like this guy. No, I'm not him. I was gonna be like, no, you're not him, bro.
I was about to say you're not him. What do you mean?
Yeah, stop coping.
Okay, that's crazy.
Credit card debt, or do you pay it off every month? Mr. Mamdani?
I pay it off every month.
Mr. Cuomo?
Paid off.
Mr. Sliwa?
I don't have a credit card. I have a debit card.
And what is your monthly rent or mortgage, Mr. Sliwa?
About $3,900. It's not subsidized there. So
Mr. Mamdani, what is your monthly rent or mortgage?
$2,300.
Mr. Cuomo?
Not Okay, why is that a brag, dude? That is such a weird.
Because he's not in
That's
rent
a weird
stabilized.
brag.
Okay, sure, man.
Yeah, he's
All right, bro.
Why did it stop playing again?
Because
He
YouTube
has a
sucks.
restabilized apartment that a poor person's supposed to have. Mine is about $7,800.
We are actually getting to
We're gonna cover that subject.
7,800, dude, and he just like didn't flinch saying that.
Yeah. Also,
I mean,
hey, fucking Andrew Cuomo. Let's be fucking honest here. If fucking Zohran Mamdani did not have his job, he would be unable to fucking buy his goddamn like rent stabilized apartment. If he was paying about $3,900 a month, that's more than half of his fucking monthly income that he'd have to spend on fucking rent. You dumbass. Like, he's not that fucking rich. It's so fucking weird. He just earns the amount of like a six-figure corporate job, and then he also has his wife who also contributes to that as well. Like Zohran Mamdani's net worth is maybe in like the 200,000 range. You're a multi-millionaire, little bro. Like who lives in the suburbs outside of New York. Like, get the fuck out of here with this bullshit.
Yeah. With Mamdani, it's like, okay, that's like a corporate worker who has been investing in, I don't know, a 401k for like 10 years, and maybe they own a house or somewhere or something, or they have like other investments. Like he's not much richer than them. That's why I said, yeah, Alex, yeah, that's me for real. Like I I pay about as much rent as he does in LA, which LA rent. Oh, do not get me started, dude. Oh my god. The worst.
Sally?
Thank you. We're going to talk a little bit more about the runaway rent in this city. Mr. Mamdani, you're pledging to freeze rent for nearly 1 million rent-stabilized apartments. That really affects less than half of all rentals in the city. What is your plan for those who aren't in stabilized apartments but are struggling to pay the rent? What are you going to do for them?
Well, I'm proud to say that I will freeze the rent for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants, and I will also build 200,000 truly affordable homes across the 5 boroughs over the next 10 years to ensure that tenants, whether rent-stabilized or market rate, can actually have more housing such that they are not being priced out of this city. And finally, I'm also going to make it easier for the private sector to build housing in the city, because what we see today is that it's not labor, it's not materials, it's the weight that is often costing so much to actually build the housing we need in the city.
Thank you. And a follow-up for you, Mr. Mamdani. The cost of maintaining a building change year to year for landlords. The Rent Guidelines Board is legally required to consider those costs when deciding whether to freeze rents. So how can you promise a rent freeze today before ever seeing that data next year?
You know, we've seen the data time and again. It's
next year's data.
It's been data that's been overruled by mayors again and again. The last Rent Guidelines Board study showed that profits were up 12% for landlords of those units. And what did they do? They raised the rent, adding to more than 12% under Eric Adams' administration. What I'm speaking about is actually reflecting the needs of these New Yorkers and the state of the market today. These are New Yorkers who have a median household income of $60,000. We do not need to be pushing them further out of the city. We need to keep them in their homes.
Aren't you saying in that answer that you are going to prejudge? You will not have seen the data for next year, and you're making a determination based on data you haven't seen?
I've seen the data year after year of the fact that salaries are stagnating, costs are up, New Yorkers can't actually afford their apartments. And I will also take action to actually ensure that the landlords of those buildings can better handle their costs by taking on their insurance, their property taxes, and their water.
He explained it really, really well. I mean, these other two were just like sort of bragging about how much they're paying in, mortgage, rent, whatever.
Also, like, the idea that he's not gonna fucking do anything about it also just doesn't really make any sense. Like, oh, you're just saying that based off of, like, data. Like, okay, it's called basic statistical analysis, you fucking moron moderator. Like, you take a look at all of the data that you currently have, and you make a prediction based off of that, and you sort of, like, this is how basic statistical analysis works. You take a look at all the stuff that has been previously collected, and you make some kind of a prediction, being like, okay, so this is what we might have to do, right? And you consult with economics experts about stuff like that. I have no doubt that Zohran Mamdani has more than likely done that already. Like, hello, it's so fucking stupid. The premise of it was an attempt at, like, a stupid gotcha, saying, like, oh, well, Zohran Mamdani also just doesn't care at all about non-rent stabilized tenants and stuff like that. He wants them to also suffer. He doesn't give a fuck about any of them. It's just like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Like, that has no relevance at all to, like, what is being currently mentioned. This is, like, complete nonsense, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, Alex, you're right. Our profit's gonna crash for landlords next year when they've been going up. Yeah, and they're gonna be paying New Jersey taxes on wealth or whatever. Like, no, people like landlords in New Jersey are doing fine too. Like, what the? I mean, he did. Remember that one? What was it, like a presser or something? He's like, I am Muslim. I am, like, he said all the I am stuff. God, that was so cringe.
Mr. Cuomo, I do have a question for you on this subject. You have proposed something that you're calling Zohran's Law. You think that Mr. Mamdani earns too much to live in his rent-stabilized apartment, though I should note that there are no income.
Dude, that tweet was so unhinged. Remember that?
So
Mamdani,
fucking stupid.
Dude, what the? Dude, just browbeating like the common person, as if that's going to ingratiate you with the average New Yorker. It's not going to. It's not going to. Like that. It's just elitist as F. Really is.
Tests for stabilized apartments, but critics say your plan would force people to pay too much of their income towards the rent. So if you think Mr. Mamdani is gaming the system, what about the other New Yorkers, thousands of them just like him, who earn similar salaries, who are living in similar apartments?
Okay, just to follow up on what Sally was saying, because she's right. This is not a new plan that the Assemblyman is talking about. It's Bill de Blasio's plan. It was called Freeze the Rent. Bill de Blasio says the mayor can't say legally he's going to freeze the rent. There's a rent guidelines board. There are certain considerations that have to be looked at. You're right, Sally. You can't say today, but it's going to be in 4 years. Also, freeze the rent only postpones the rent, because then you have to have an increase to cover the costs. Otherwise, the building is going to go bankrupt. And it does nothing for the majority of renters who aren't in these.
But it's not de Blasio's plan, because Zohran wants to raise revenue for the city through taxing wealth.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to cover for the freezing of the rent. Like, but again, Andrew Cuomo doesn't want the rent. Wants the rent to go up while also not taxing any of the corporations, because he's, well, captured.
1,000%.
Rent stabilized units. There's nothing for NYCHA. There's nothing for homeowners. There's nothing for people in black brown communities who are getting priced out. I was the HUD secretary. I built affordable housing all across this nation. I built affordable housing in this city when I was in my 20s. I know how to get it done. I will get it done. On the rent stabilized units, what I'm saying is those are the precious units, and we should keep them for the most rent burden.
We have to move on. But I have a question for you.
No, sorry, he invoked me for much of that question. Just a very brief response here.
Very brief.
You know, you've heard it from Andrew Cuomo that the number one crisis in the city, the housing crisis, the answer is to evict my wife and I. He thinks you address this crisis by unleashing my landlord's ability to raise my rent. If you think that the problem in this city is that my rent is too low, vote for him. If you know the problem in this city is that your rent is too high, vote for me.
It's a good line.
Dang, he's way too good at it, man.
It's a good line. Because that's the case. He just wants to fucking raise the rent. That's all that it is. Andrew Cuomo just wants you to suffer. He doesn't give a fuck.
That was timed really, really well. That was a Sekiro level like parry. That was crazy. Strikes again on Grindr, not the debate. True.
Sons of millionaires need subsidized housing.
Would not evict Mr. Mamdani.
It would not evict.
It would apply to people applying for apartments.
But the tenant advocates. It would evict no one.
This
would be an income limitation on the renters.
Mr. Sliwa.
This is like a spat in the schoolyard. Let me suggest.
Mr. Rosary has a specific question for you.
Yeah, well, I wanted to talk about affordability and obviously address that issue.
So you've proposed, Mr. Sliwa, plans that would made a point of talking about the struggle of renters and property owners. Describe your plan to help renters and landlords.
Well, first off, we have 6,000 available apartments that the mayor controls in NYCHA, and they've been empty for years. That you address, number one. Then we talk about senior citizens who are living here. My whole goal is to improve and not to move. I'm concerned about the seniors, especially those that own homes. If they're 65 and make less than $250,000, no property tax, because the property tax is way too high. We need to cut it in half to keep people who are here. And then in terms of rentals, we have affordable housing that can be built in these huge skyscrapers. You see them all throughout Manhattan and in northern Brooklyn and in Long Island City, which we have 25 Empire State Buildings full of commercial space that will never be occupied for office space. We should be converting them into affordable apartments. They're in dense areas. The infrastructure can support it. I'm the only candidate here who's against.
Zohran is literally going to do that. Like, he's acting like he's the only one. Come on, dude.
The city of, yes, that would destroy residential
I have to
neighborhoods.
interrupt you because we have a programming moment right now. We're about halfway through the mayoral debate. Channel 4 and Telemundo 47 will return to regular programming, but we got a lot to get to, and you can continue watching live on NBC New York, Telemundo 47 streaming and digital platforms, Lexitos, Politico.com, and YouTube. Stay with us. A lot to discuss.
God, even fucking Andrew Cuomo's smile looks so fucking weird. Why is he tilting his head that way? We're like, what are you fucking doing, bro? Like, why are you stop fucking tilting your head, you fucking weirdo. Like, you look like a schizo. You look like a psychopath, bro. Fucking weirdo. Stop that.
See, Mamdani's got that. He's got that Bollywood smile. He knows how to do it better than most Bollywood actors. He's got it. All right, looks like this is. There we go.
Gentlemen, thank you. That was kind of a natural point for us to transition, and we want to talk now about transportation, getting around town. And we have a few quick questions about how you get around town. Show of hands, even though they're in their waning days, who has a MetroCard or maybe uses OmniPay?
Uses OmniPay?
OmniPay, yeah. MetroCard, I mean, I have one, but, you know, I'm hanging on to the last
So
one.
you're on the subways, Mr. Sliwa. What do you use? I'm just curious. If you don't...
OmniCard. In fact, I got a whole batch. I'm in the subways, I'm in the buses, I'm in the express buses. The only candidate who rides mass transit every day.
When you need
No, Zohran rides it every day. Yeah.
Yeah, just we gotta keep going. We gotta keep going.
We're fast. You can't
stop
take the
for
train.
everything.
You hail a taxi, you use rideshare. Mr. Sliwa, what do you do?
I try to avoid yellow cabs. As you know, I was shot in the back of a yellow cab in 1992 by the Gattis and Gambinos. But I find my way around. If I have to, I Uber if I can't get there by my strength.
What do you do, Mr. Mamdani, if you can't take the train?
I would either take a cab or ride a bike.
Mr. Cuomo?
I will take a cab, Uber.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Ms. Sally.
Thank you, David.
Uber, of course. Yeah,
I wonder why you take. I wonder why you take an Uber, Andrew Cuomo.
Uber, dude. I've been to New York. Uber is not worth it unless you're out with a bunch of friends.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
like, because
it's
all
not
about that
worth
extra
it,
bit.
dude.
Yeah. Why would you? It's probably expensive as fuck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just to go a few blocks, it's not worth it. And plus, you're stuck in traffic. Like, it's not worth it at all. Yeah.
Let's talk about free buses. Mr. Mamdani, this is a centerpiece of your campaign. Can you explain how you will make buses free? You have 30 seconds to answer.
Absolutely. We will make buses free by replacing the revenue that the MTA currently gets from buses. This is revenue that's around $700 million or so. That's less money than Andrew Cuomo gave to Elon Musk in $959 million in tax credits when he was the governor. And
Yep.
I love
true.
that comparison. Yeah.
He's very corrupt, Andrew Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo, very corrupt, folks.
Yeah, you can outwalk the Uber in New York City, and then you know, you get to a subway station, and yeah, you win. You win every time. So, yep.
The reason that we will do so is that making buses free doesn't just provide economic relief, but also public safety. Because what we've seen is that it decreases assaults on bus drivers by 38.9%. New Yorkers deserve more than the slowest buses in the country. I know that because I was on the M57 not too long ago, and its average speed is 4.9 miles
We're at
an
time,
hour.
though, but the question is how you'll make them free.
We will fund the revenue that would have otherwise been brought in from fares, and that's something that we would do in partnership with Albany. And I put forward two proposals. The first is to raise taxes on the top 1% of New Yorkers by 2%. That would raise $4 billion. The second is to raise the state's top corporate tax rate to match that of New Jersey, which would raise $5 billion.
We're going to move along, but I just want to point out to viewers that Governor Hochul has opposed raising the income tax. But Melissa, we'll move on to your question.
Could I address that on the buses? Because half the people don't pay their bus fare to begin with, Zohran. And so
Curtis, Zohran.
It's a complete disaster. If you have free bus fare, and the Citizens Budget Commission said just last year, 2024, $1 billion of fare evasion in all different forms, this MTA system will collapse.
Who cares about fare evasion, dude?
Yeah, like
Here's
everyone's trying to hop the fucking gates and shit like that. Like, what the fuck are you
it's
talking
really
about?
expensive.
Yeah, like, man, if you deal with the affordability crisis that currently exists, then people are not going to want to fare evade. Oh, it's a revolutionary idea, I know.
Yeah, it's like, okay, Eric Adams like, well, we're going to raise the fares. Next day he complains about people hopping the turnstile.
Yeah,
It's
people evading.
I wonder
shit.
why, dude.
Yeah,
I wonder why.
No, kind of dodge the fucking evasion, or not dodge the evasion, but basically raise the fucking fares. So now people are gonna want to start dodging because of the fact that everything just got more expensive and people can't fucking afford it. I mean, it's so stupid. Like, these motherfuckers consistently with these people. Like, I'm gonna create a problem. Now I have to start complaining about it, despite the fact that this is a problem that I created. It's like, why are you complaining about the problem that you just made then? Like, okay, bro, whatever. Nice meme.
Turnstile hopping is an Olympic sport. That's true. And then, you know, the other thing is too, think about it. If you see, in order to charge fares, you need to have an administrative system for handling payments and, tracking the usage of the Metro card. Like, you need administration and, personnel around that. If you just subsidize the public transit and make it free, it's actually cheaper to run than having to administer a Metro card system. Like, dude, it's basic math, but again, math is not these people's strong suit.
Nope.
Except for Mamdani, of course. You know how you can avoid fare evasion if they pay for public transit taxes? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just make it free. How much is the Loop in Chicago, Alex? How much is that? Imagine if they made the Loop free in Chicago, like it's that elevated rail, I think, in downtown Chicago. I don't know if the Loop is free or not. I don't think it is. $2.50 for the Loop. That's a ripoff, dude. That should be free. At this point, that should be free.
There's not enough money out there to make up for fare evasion. Pay your fare. If you don't pay your fare, they have fare programs for the poor and the indigent. But everybody should be forced to pay their fare.
Mr. Cuomo, you had both praise and some criticism from Mr. Mamdani's free bus pilots. So you're sort of in the middle on this issue. What's your plan to make subways and buses more affordable?
I think free buses is a mistake. It costs about $700 million. Just to give you an idea that we only raise about $500 from congestion pricing. It's been done before in other cities. It was a disaster. They stopped. They basically became mobile, homeless gathering places. What I say is free buses for working families who can't afford it, and free subways for working families. But don't subsidize.
Guys, we're gonna do fucking means testing. Let's go. Means test the public safety stuff. Let's go. We love means testing. Any means testers in the chat? Our favorite fucking things to do.
Yeah.
That's like the Andrew Cuomo special. We love means testing. Fucking random bullshit. Very, very cool.
Toronto Transit is $3.30 Canadian, and you get unlimited free transfers in a 2-hour window. Oh, that's pretty good. I mean, yeah, if you're doing park and ride, that's actually pretty good. But yeah, it's too expensive for people in the city. I wish they would like prorate it for people who are going short distances. But anyways, whatever.
No, they're not going to do that.
But yeah. No, that's too much money. Leaving too much money on the table. Yeah.
I gotta listen. We gotta go after the poors more and more. Very important.
So true, Kane. So true.
And it's been tried and it's failed.
Mr. Mamdani, can you just respond quickly on the point about the mobile homeless gathering places?
This is something that we heard when we were fighting to make buses free in Albany when we delivered the first fare-free bus lines in New York City history. And what we saw is when we made one bus route free in each borough of New York City, there was no increase in homelessness on those buses. There was no increase in fare evasion in the surrounding area. What there was an increase in ridership of up to 38%.
Thank you, Mr. Mamdani.
Candidates, maybe we can dig deeper on this and get a sense of how all of you would pay for your big ideas. Mr. Mamdani, we'll start with you. We've obviously been talking about free buses. You've talked about free childcare, city-run grocery stores. So essentially, you're proposing about $10 billion in new spending. And as you've indicated, you want to pay for it with tax increases. But as Sally pointed out, Governor Hochul said no to raising income tax on millionaires. So tell New Yorkers tonight how you're going to pay for all of this in 1 minute.
I think Kathy Hochul might capitulate.
Yeah, she's more than likely going to capitulate to that. I mean, considering the fact that she's endorsed Zohran Mamdani, because she's, again, doing a political calculation, she's capitulated to that shit. So I don't think... if she wants to not have a tough time during her fucking election bid, she's probably going to have to give in, more than likely, if I were to take a guess.
I mean, yeah, I mean, he is the mayor of New York City, and that's where most of the tax revenue of the state comes from. It's from that one city. So she can't really say no to him now. Like, yeah, she's sealed her fate. Yeah.
Look, a lot of people have called even my campaign a non-starter when we first began. And now I stand before you proud to be the Democratic nominee who got the most votes in city primary history. And I believe we will see the same thing with our push to ensure that we are taxing the wealthiest and the most profitable corporations the fair amount that they should pay. Now, there are those who will say that because it will be hard, you should give up. We saw what giving up looked like when Andrew Cuomo was the governor. He gave up on fighting for working-class New Yorkers and instead caved in to his billionaire donors. And what did we get? We have the fastest and most frequent helicopter service to the Hamptons, and we have the slowest and more expensive bus service across the 5 boroughs.
Oh, yeah, those helicopter... Dude, in New York, have you seen that, like, the helicopter service? Like, if you fly into New York City, you can actually, they have, like, really fast, like, tax shuttles that take you to the helipad. And then the helipads, like, you can fly from Brooklyn to Manhattan. It's so elitist, man. It's so
because like, yeah, normal people are definitely going to be able to afford those fucking helicopters, bro. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Very relatable, Mr. Cuomo. Very relatable.
But again, Mr. Mamdani, I know Governor Hochul indicated this week there may be some open windows, but more or less income tax on millionaires is off the table, according to the governor.
Look, I've said very clearly, making buses fast and free costs about $700 million a year. Making universal child care a reality costs about $5 or $6 billion a year. If you raise the state's top corporate tax rate to match that of New Jersey, you'll be raising $5 billion in and of itself.
I have a couple of follow-ups. You're next, but I have a couple follow-ups.
I would just want to add one additional thing. We have also put forward a plan to save money here in New York City with $1 billion in savings through procurement reform, through following the independent budget office's assessment about hiring more fiscal auditors, and actually collecting the fines and fees from bad landlords across the city.
Just a quick couple of follow-ups. If you could find some of the funding, but not all of it, which of your priorities would come first? What would be the first among equals that you would try to get done?
Well, freezing the rent doesn't require any fiscal infusion, so that will be something we'll be pursuing immediately. And universal childcare after housing is the second cost. Childcare is the second cost pushing New Yorkers out of the city. $22,500 a year is the estimate we've seen. Okay. That will be a priority for us.
And I just want to know if you could get the money and funding elsewhere.
Jeez, that's a huge thing right there. Saving families $20 grand a year.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, again, like New York can fucking afford that. Again, financial capital of the planet. Financial capital of the planet. There's tons of fucking billionaires and businesses that do fucking business there because, again, New York Stock Exchange is right there. Finance capital. Tons of it fucking gets shifted through fucking New York. Again, because of the New York Stock Exchange. It's right there. So the idea that, like, you know, there won't be the money for all of these, like, new proposals is so fucking stupid. It's complete nonsense. And also, did Kathy Hochul say that there was going to be no fucking taxes raised on fucking millionaires? From what I understand, and a lot of the story's been inconsistent on this specifically. I've seen no taxes will be raised on millionaires, but I've also seen no taxes will be raised on, like, people in New York in general. The story has been a little inconsistent on this one.
I want to hear the other two answers so we can laugh at them.
Would you drop the call for the tax increase?
Absolutely. The most important thing is funding these agenda items. I think these are the two most important and straightforward direct ways to do so. But if the money comes from elsewhere,
okay,
the most
thank
important
you.
thing is
Melissa has a question for Mr. Sliwa.
Mr. Sliwa, you've been talking about cutting taxes and spending. So what is your plan, and how would you pay for your programs like 7,000 more cops?
Well, Zohran, well, your fantasies are never going to come about in terms of funding everything you want. It's going to be free. It's a fantasy. Let's deal with the reality. 7,000 cops. You already have a plan in Boston where you pay for taxes in the future. This is a great plan in which universities and others who have bought up properties that are now taken from the real estate market and taken from property tax paid. We could raise $1 billion from Columbia University, NYU, that are in the real estate business, and Madison Square Garden. Your friends, Andrew Cuomo, Jimmy Dolan, who pays no property taxes. That's how you raise $1 billion to get 700 police officers trained, vetted, and out into the streets in the 5 boroughs. And then the police will be on the subways,
bro,
and they will be
because
patrolling the
that's
old-fashioned way
exactly
where they
what we need. More fucking police officers taking money away from fucking universities. Oh, but nothing about the fucking corporations and the rich now, Curtis, huh? But you want to take shit away from the universities? That's a little interesting, Curtis. I wonder why. It's all like a part of the same stupid, like, anti-intellectual bullshit motherfuckers like this consistently push. Like, that's like the point. It's so stupid.
Yeah, and police budget is already so bloated, and I think Zohran has mentioned that multiple times, that, you know, it's bloated. It's the priorities of the NYPD are completely, you know, they're completely out of whack. So yeah, this isn't playing well. This is not going to play well into your court, Curtis.
Going up and down the moving subway cars where people want to see the visual protection, especially women who are being assaulted, and like we saw this morning on 86th Street, a woman with a gun to her head, an armed robbery because we don't have enough cops.
I have a question for you in this topic, and let's talk about history, because as governor, you raised and cut taxes. Now you're proposing some tax relief. What's the price tag for your proposals, and where will you get the money for example, 5,000 new police officers? You have a minute to answer.
I think Sally's question was very well taken. The Assemblyman's whole plan is based on a myth. He's going to raise taxes. Albany's going to raise taxes statewide on corporations, but the money's only going to go to New York City. That could never happen. It's not just that the governor wouldn't support it. It's impossible. He said he's going to raise the taxes the same as New Jersey corporate tax. No, it would be double the tax. You would see New Yorkers on
No, that he can't math, dude.
95 fleeing to Florida. We would be alone.
Dude. Because again, like, billionaires and corporations are gonna run away from, I'm gonna say this again, the financial capital of the planet. They're going to run away from that fucking market to go to fucking Florida, a decrepit shithole of a state where insurance companies have been consistently leaving that place because they're Governor Ron DeSantis is not going to do anything about fucking climate change, and hurricanes are getting worse and worse and worse, and every insurance company is currently leaving there. Even like fucking Disney has threatened to fucking leave that place as well. It's complete fucking nonsense. It's so stupid.
Yep. And well, here's the other thing too. I watched a video on stream about on my stream there was a video about the sinking that's happening in places like Miami and South Florida. Basically, like, they're building all those super tall skyscrapers there, and it's causing like
it's all swampland,
the
right?
land underneath to buckle. Yeah, the land underneath is like buckling very, very quickly, much faster than they expected. So, you know, all those places, Palm Beach, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, yeah, they are cooked.
Yeah, they
truly cooked.
Yeah, dude, they're gonna move to there specifically. You fucking weirdo. Yeah, sure. You're probably gonna move there if fucking Zohran Mamdani wins, because you're just like a pussy little fucking freak who doesn't want to live in New York because you, in reality, fucking hate New York.
have to be realistic with revenue. You have a $115 billion budget. You have to go through that city budget and find savings. I started the state, which is double the budget of the city, at a $10 billion deficit. I closed it and added services. And we can do the same with New York City.
Governor, as mayor, you would not increase spending in the New York City budget? Yes or no?
There would be, whatever additional spending would be revenue neutral.
So
it's impossible. You got to cut taxes for people to stay here.
Thank you.
Corporations are not going to stay here.
Again, Zohran's first priorities are revenue neutral too. So
yeah, he's talked about this in his literally in his fucking goddamn website. You can like look at it. So again,
yep, just go read. Yeah,
you can just go read it.
Yeah, reading is cringe though, Daho. I don't want to.
That is true. Reading is fucking cringe.
Lord, South, the cities that are more corporate friendly. You got to cut the property tax, income tax for those who are 19 to 28 with skill levels if they go to school here.
Thank you, Andrew Cuomo thinks it's all right to spend $60 million to fund his legal defense from accusations of more than a dozen women of sexual harassment. But if I say we should spend the same amount of money on delivering cheaper groceries in the city through a pilot program, that is unfathomable.
David, I got a right to respond to that. Quickly. First, I did not bring those lawsuits. That was brought by the Attorney General, which I said was political.
Well,
that's what generated the legal
women, and some of them
still
making their way through the courts
Still coping.
Yes, and I've been dropped from the cases.
Not all of them.
Yeah, and
still coping.
All this money that he wants to pass. The one thing he did do is he voted for a pay raise for himself. They're the highest paid legislators in the United States.
Okay, I'd have to see the facts on that. He voted for a pay raise for himself, and you didn't. Like, come on.
Yeah, I don't believe him for even a second.
Like, it's funny because he acts so elitist, and then he wants to pretend Zohran is elitist. It's so funny, dude. All of this is so funny.
I did ask
And
the
he has
state
the worst
controller's office
attendance
this week. I did ask the state controller's office this week. The total was above 60 million, but just those sexual harassment cases to defend Governor Cuomo and his staff was about $21
Sorry, was it
million.
sexual
I
harassment and
just want to clarify
harassment
because you said 60, but on those cases it was 21.
Okay, thank you. We have to talk about quality of life in the city. Let's turn to everyday life in the city and some issues a mayor can directly impact. We start with a couple of questions about 311. The number New Yorkers call or text for non-emergency help. First off, have you ever called 311? If so, for what? Mr. Mamdani?
I called 311 for issues with my heating in my apartment, and I've spoken to New Yorkers time and time again who are frustrated by the fact that they can track their Uber Eats block by block, but when they call 311 for them to come to their apartment, it's just a question of hoping and praying that they do. There's no actual appointment. That's something that we would change.
Oh my goodness, yeah, the same thing in LA. Like they're never fixing that pothole. They're never gonna fix it.
Yeah,
right?
that's the thing that people specifically talk about all the time. Like, why is like potholes in my fucking goddamn city? Why the fuck is everything looking like such shit constantly? And you're never gonna hear people like Sliwa or fucking Cuomo ever talk about shit like that because they don't actually really care about that all that much.
Yeah, I mean they're just gonna propaganda fearmonger all day long instead.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna be focused on.
About.
Yep, exactly. The kettle. It's the kettle calling the spade a kettle. Yeah, I guess so.
All right, Mr. Sliwa, have you ever called 311?
You know, there used to be that song 911 is a joke by Public Enemy. 311 is a joke. You can call it over and over and over again and never get a response.
Have you?
The analytics are when the operators talk to us, I talk to them.
Have you called?
Yes, I called them many times and got no response.
Mr.
Most citizens I talk to on subways and streets never get good responses from 311.
Mr. Cuomo?
I've heard a lot of complaints about 311, so I actually made a call to 311 myself to see if the complaints were bona fide. And I was dropped twice. Then they were going to send someone to help a homeless woman in distress, and no one showed up.
You're all expressing frustration. Last year, 311.
Yeah, and that was your buddy. That was under your buddy Eric Adams. So yeah, you can't blame De Blasio for that one, buddy.
Also, I wonder why he's never had to call 311 before. Because he's always been really well off.
Yeah, he's in the good neighborhood. You know, he's always been in the Upper West Side or whatever. Yeah, he lives in West. He probably lives in like the suburbs in like Westchester, but like I don't know, his family, I guess, or he said his daughter lives in like the Upper West Side or something.
Yeah, in some swanky apartment that he had to take over in order to run as mayor of New York. He overtook his daughter's fucking apartment, said that as his primary fucking place of residence.
Unbelievable. You know, Marjorie Taylor Greene actually does the same thing. She actually lives in like Metro Atlanta and not in her district. Like she owns property in her district, and that's about it.
Yeah,
like it's not her. Yeah,
it's a consistent pattern of behavior with these people.
Received 38 million contacts from New Yorkers, from calls to the website. Wanted to know if you had a sense across 5 boroughs what the top 2 categories of complaints were. What do you think they were, Mr. Sliwa?
Potholes, constantly potholes. People's undercarriages ripped out, ball bearings, alignments.
Second one, top 2?
Rats.
Okay.
The city is flooded with rats.
Mr. Cuomo, what do you think the top 2 complaints were?
Homeless and trash rats.
All right, Mr. Mamdani?
With housing and noise.
Okay, so the answer is noise and illegal parking. And we're going to stick with quality of life. Rosarina?
That's right. Let's talk about noise candidates because they fall into these 2 categories. First of all, is the residential one. That's the neighbors and the loud music. And the second one is the street or sidewalk, everything with the loud construction and workers outside. So, Mr. Cuomo, as mayor, what can you do to help the city that never sleeps get a little bit of rest, Mr. Cuomo?
Yeah, look, I think if the 311 system worked well, if there was actually contact with people, I think New Yorkers would get it. I think New Yorkers would be responsive. I think we have to change the ethos in the city, the ethic in the city. Right now it's toxic, it's divisive, everyone's angry at everyone. I think when we have public safety that's functional again.
I wonder why it might be everyone's angry and divisive right now. Cuomo?
Mr. Sliwa, how are you?
I wonder why that might be the case. Cuomo? I couldn't possibly think of anything.
Yeah, we gotta hold the mirror up to this guy.
Yeah, like you getting into a call with fucking Donald Trump in order to try to figure out a way to win. I don't like. I wonder why everything's so divisive and so bad. It couldn't be because of the fucking orange Cheeto that's currently in power. Nah. It couldn't be that at all whatsoever.
Quiet a little bit, the city that never sleeps.
In the outer boroughs, I see problems all the time, quality of life issues. 18-wheel tractor trailers, RVs parked everywhere. Garbage that's not picked up and collected. In the city, we've seen trash cans taken away by the sanitation department, Jessica Tisch, when she was the commissioner. The quality of life has diminished noticeably. So naturally, people are going to revert to 311. But it's important that a mayor be able to provide services to all the people. And they believe if quality of life is diminished, the next stop is sell your house and leave the city. And my goal is to improve and not move.
Mr. Mamdani, your turn.
What we've seen is one of the biggest sources of noise in the city is from congestion. And with the implementation of congestion pricing, we've actually seen noise complaints drop in the congestion zone. And so I would continue to find ways to ensure that we have reduced congestion.
Nice. This is, by the way, this is what literally every urbanist says. All of them say this exact same thing. The reason why there's a lot of noise is because of cars. Cars cause noise, not fucking music and all this other bullshit. But in reality, Andrew Cuomo is okay with like fucking cars, and this is the same dude who literally says he uses fucking Uber as his primary form of fucking goddamn transport. So yeah, like. Do you think he's going to do anything about fucking noise problems that are happening in New York? Fuck no, of course not.
Yeah, well, no, I was gonna say that urbanists, yeah, people who study urbanism, that's kind of woke, man. I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know. Yeah,
I'm being a bit of a libtard, boy meets mini. That's true. I'm being a little woke.
Across the city, and one of the ways is by making the slowest buses in America ones that are fast and free, so that New Yorkers can not only live a life of excellent quality of life, but also be able to get around the city without having to worry if they have $2.90 or soon to be $3 in their pocket, which is already out of reach for 1 in 5 New Yorkers.
We have here the author of congestion pricing, and we have the apprentice of congestion pricing.
we might
And the only candidate who's opposed to congestion pricing is led to storefronts closing because they don't have enough food.
Wait, hold on. Hey, Curtis. I thought you were a fucking. Hey, I thought you were a fucking big fan of New York. It's incredibly fucking popular within New York. What? I thought you were running to be the mayor of New York City, not the mayor or governor of fucking New Jersey, you fucking weirdo. That's a little interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, go back to New Jersey.
Yeah,
dude.
go back to fucking New Jersey if you hate congestion pricing so much, Curtis.
About candidates going over there a lot of time. Okay, so we're going to move on to illegal parking plaques in many neighborhoods. Recently, Councilmember Lincoln Ressler released a study that found 450 vehicles parked illegally during the day in downtown Brooklyn, many with fake or government placards. That's just one snapshot of the city, but you hear similar complaints everywhere. So how would you fix this specific situation? You'll have 30 seconds, Mr. Sliwa. We'll begin with you.
Well, obviously, placards have been abused consistently. You have people who created fake placards. Not only that, you have people with fake license plates, paper plates.
I've seen like a video about this, by the way, where there's like dudes who create like a bunch of fake placards and all this fucking shit. In order to avoid like certain fares and evade certain like laws and regulations. I've seen that happen a bunch before. There's like, you can see videos about it on the internet of like some dude basically like taking apart all the fucking fake placards and shit that people have on their license plates.
Yeah, and then there's also people who like, I've seen people here in LA. I've seen that happen here, and then I've also seen like people on the road. They have like tinted like license plate covers that they can that basically make it impossible for like police to read plates, which is interesting. So yeah, I have seen that too. But again, it's like, is this the biggest problem right now? Like these are just sort of like, there are ways to deal with these things already. Like why are we concerned trolling about this stuff? We know how to deal with it. These are like small annoyances of city life. They're not like the big issues that actually need addressing.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, Boy Meets Mini. Like, it's relevant to a lot of people. They're gonna fucking care about stuff like this because just like it's annoying for these people in their minds, right? Like they'll care about this always.
I suppose, but I think like what Zoran's getting at is like, yeah, these things happen. He's explaining the reasons why they happen, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The bigger systemic reason, of course. So he has the most effective answer on this anyways.
Park a vehicle. There's just no enforcement. And that's because we don't have police. We have these e-bikes going up and down. We have the motorbikes. They're not following rules and regulations. They should be licensed. They should have a way of being identified. This way, enforcement can take place because people are terrified walking out into the streets.
Mr. Mamdani, your plan for illegal parking?
We have to showcase that accountability is true, whether for New Yorkers who are just living in the city or those who are working for the city. And the violation of traffic laws are violations no matter who is doing it, and to show that accountability is something my city government's actually going to pursue.
Okay, Mr. Cuomo.
On the quality of life, you're right, is very, very important. On the placards, I would make it simple. I would recall all the city placards and reissue only those that are bona fide, period, on day one. On the quality of life issues, the worst thing that could happen is if the Assemblyman's proposal for legalizing prostitution went through. That would be terrible for the quality of life.
Yeah, this is coming from the fucking out of city, like New York suburbanite fucking a multimillionaire. Yeah, you definitely really care about the quality of life that's currently going on in fucking New York. Like, okay, bro, nice meme.
Also, you have a problem with legalizing. Oh, I get why you have a problem with legalizing prostitution. Right? Yes.
Yeah, I wonder why. Yeah, I wonder why you might have a problem with that.
He also doesn't want to enforce misdemeanors. That's assault, larceny, etc. That would be.
We're going to have time to address that.
I want to be very clear. Not only have I never called for the legalization of prostitution, I'm not calling for that today either. And I also have never said anything about not enforcing misdemeanors. This is just yet another figment of Andrew Cuomo's imagination.
The DSA, which you give a part of your salary to, that's their position: abolish jails, no new carceral facilities, don't enforce misdemeanors. And you're on the bill in Albany as a sponsor to decriminalize prostitution.
The difference between myself and Andrew Cuomo, which
decriminalize.
Decriminalize prostitution. Yeah, because prostitutes are what's leading to the degradation of New York and causing an affordability crisis. Like, I mean, this is just completely out of touch. Like, it's irrelevant to the main problems of New York. It's just such a fucking namby-pamby, pimbly-wimbly fucking problem. Like, it's stupid. There's no relevance to this whatsoever.
Boomer complaints, yeah.
It's boomer complaint
There
shit.
are many, is that there's no one that is actually telling me what to do other than the 8.5 million people who call this city home. If you want my policies, go find them on my website.
Who told you to legalize prostitution?
Wait, Andrew, you can't escape this.
But he doesn't. It's not part of his policies.
Yeah, he's not. Like, where does he talk about decriminalizing prostitution? Like, again, he doesn't have a DSA policy platform. He has a Zohran Mamdani policy platform that the DSA has endorsed because there's like, yeah, it's gonna be good. Also, by the way, if you're so concerned about prostitution, first off, Cuomo, you're still suing 13 women for their gynecological records. So there's a first off. Second off, why do a lot of people have to resort to fucking prostitution? Oh, because the city's unaffordable. That you're not gonna fucking address, little bro. That's why people resort to prostitution. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Precisely.
Signed the law doing away with loitering for prostitution. That was a law put forward by Justice Ramos. He started the prostitution in East Elmhurst, and Jackson Heights, and Flushing.
Mr. Sliwa,
and you want to add to it, which diminishes the quality of life.
Mr. Sliwa, when I talk over you, nobody's hearing you. We actually have a question on that, so we'll let Rosarina ask.
And for this question, candidates, we want to come to Queens, where we know that prostitution has been an ongoing complaint. Mayor Adams formed a task force and ordered sweeps by the NYPD, but the situation continues, especially...
Let's go, more police. They're going to be the main people who can take care of this. Let's go, more police. We need more police to just... jail a bunch of fucking people who are down on their luck. Let's go.
Yeah, and then when they get out, like people don't think about, like, no one here's the thing. This kind of exposes something too. It's like no one really thinks about, okay, when you get out of prison, what's next? Nobody talks about that.
Yeah, like, again, like if you have a criminal record, you went to fucking prison, you think those people are going to be able to get a fucking job and go back on the straight and narrow? No, it's not going to fucking happen. Yeah, very, very fucking stupid.
Yeah, there's no like pathway to the straight and narrow. Like, if you're so concerned about that, yeah, there's no pathway to it. I'm sorry. God, yeah, these.
Around the very popular Roosevelt Avenue. As mayor, Mr. Mamdani, how will you handle this situation? You have 30 seconds.
I want to first be clear that I am not, and nor have I ever called for the legalization of prostitution. And if you are happy with what's happening on Roosevelt Avenue, then you should vote for Andrew Cuomo, because his policy is to continue the exact same ones we've seen under Eric Adams. My policy is to actually take on sex trafficking, to have a zero tolerance for violence against women, and to follow the advice of district attorneys that we have here in New York City, the current Manhattan DA, the former Manhattan DA, the current Brooklyn DA, the former Manhattan DA, having said that prosecuting women for prostitution is something that actually leads to less safety. And what we need to do is provide an economy of opportunity.
Just a quick clarification. So no legalization, how about decriminalization?
I do not think that we should be prosecuting women who are struggling, who are currently being thrown in jail, and then being offered job opportunities. I think we should be actually providing those kinds of opportunities at the first point of interaction.
Boom, there it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Cuomo's gonna be bad faith and say, oh, well, you just want to legalize it. Dude, I hate him so much.
Look, Bill de Blasio, the Assemblyman is a mini-me BDB, okay? He's Bill de Blasio light. He proposed legalizing prostitution. He didn't get it, and he just told the cops, don't arrest any more prostitutes. There's a bill in Albany that he signed that says the prostitution, that a woman who is a prostitute, that would be decriminalized. That is what the bill says, and that's what he said, if you listen very carefully. That would take Roosevelt Avenue and explode it, because it would make it legal for prostitutes.
But real quick, how will you handle this situation?
You have to enforce the law.
He just explained it, idiot.
It's illegal. I went to Roosevelt Avenue. I talked to the store owners. I talked to the neighbors. I walked down Roosevelt Avenue with prostitutes there at 9 o'clock in the morning.
I've dealt with this.
We walked down there at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, dude, that's definitely when all the prostitutes come out. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like, again, you want to actually deal with the issue. You deal with the affordability problems that exist on fucking New York. You actually deal with the quality of life issues. It's so fucking stupid, man.
Back in the 80s and 90s in Hell's Kitchen in Chelsea, when they were overrun with open-air prostitution and Times Square. You don't go after the women. The women are the victims here. You lock up the Johns, you shame the Johns. You let everybody know about the Johns. The madams and the pimps need to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And these absentee landlords who knowingly rent their rooms, their apartments out for the use of prostitution, the Department of Building should come in, padlock the building, seize the building. Because many of these landlords live in Delray, Florida. They did back in the 80s and 90s when we did it in Chelsea and Times Square and Hell's Kitchen.
I mean, okay, he's not like... So here's the thing with what Sliwa is saying. He's not technically wrong here when he's saying stuff like this. Yeah, sure, you can try to cut the Hydra off of the head of the Hydra off of the body. The problem is again, that not addressing the fundamental material conditions. If you take care of the problems that are underlying the base root cause and issues, and that being affordability within the city, then there's not going to be a market for prostitution or pimps or all this fucking bullshit. That's not going to fucking happen, right? Like, it's pretty simple. So, yeah, sure. What he's saying is, yeah, good to go after pimps and stuff like that. The problem is the market of it is currently in fundamental existence, right? If you want to... It's similar with the drug cartels. You want to go after drug cartels, the best way to do it is you cut the market from up under their feet by legalizing, or not legalizing, but decriminalizing a lot of drugs, vis-a-vis what Portugal did. Oh, guess what? Now there's not going to be no legal drug trade within that fucking country because it's legalized. Not legalized, but decriminalized, rather. and you're basically going to cut the market from up under the sort of feet that exist for those cartels or for those pimps, for example, if you were to decriminalize prostitution, which is why it is an effective policy. Like, if you want to take care of that problem, yeah, sure. Or you do it by addressing the material conditions on the fucking ground. That's also another way to do it. Because, again, people who are honest people, generally speaking, don't just randomly go into prostitution because they want to be fucking prostitutes. I mean, that's the case for some people. No, but people want to go into fucking prostitution simply due to the fact that they are desperate. And that is the vast majority of the cases.
Yeah, and it's fast, easy money, you know, in time of need, time of desperation. Like, you know, try getting a service job. You're going to be making $8, $9, $10 an hour. Right, when you start
minimum
out.
wage, I think, is probably higher in New York. It's at least 15 bucks an hour, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, $15 an hour. But like, yeah, you're going to be making $15 an hour, and your hours are going to get cut too, right? So
yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah, no wonder they start OF, Fansly, all.
Oh, 1,000. U235. The biggest reason why people start OnlyFans is to, generally speaking, pay off student loan debt. This is very, very common. Like, you see all those like dumbass modern, like, I don't know, those Manosphere fucking podcasts when they have like all the OnlyFans models on there. Like 9 times out of 10 are very, very, very often. Why do the fucking girls on there start OnlyFans? They say, I'm trying to get to like law school and shit, and I need to pay off my student debt. I'm doing OnlyFans to do that because
Student
everywhere
debt,
else
medical
is
debt,
dog shit. Yeah, it's just debt.
credit card debt, you name it. Yeah,
You name it.
Mhm.
There was literally
Yeah.
there was an OF model who fucking paid for her chemotherapy services through OnlyFans. Like that's a thing that's
really
happened.
sad. Yeah, it's like, imagine if healthcare was free. She wouldn't have had to do that.
Yep, wouldn't have to. I don't know. Basically, to play into like some weird, I don't know, a cancer patient fetish or some shit. I don't fucking know.
I mean, it's necessity, you know, whatever. But like, you know, I'm not saying that it's bad to do it, you know, to do sex work. But what I am saying is that like it should give that person agency, right? And they're, you know, you got to be able to catch people who, you know, who abuse sex workers like that. That's, yeah. I mean, yeah. Again, and it should be voluntary. It shouldn't be a thing out of necessity, or it shouldn't be like something that people used to get out of the hole financially. So, yeah, if everyone can afford a decent standard of living, well, I wouldn't say it won't exist. It won't be, like, the purpose of it won't be to like get out of the hole financially. Like, it's going to actually be sort of, you know, people who want to do that, people who want to be performers on there can be, you know. Yeah, it's not going to be like a necessity thing. That's all we want to change. So, anyways.
Prostitution.
We're going to go to Sally now.
Thank you, David. We're going to talk a bit about experience and beliefs. We've covered a lot of ground tonight, but we want to probe a bit deeper into each of your mindsets and how you'll approach governing as mayor. Mr. Cuomo, you have touted your experience on the campaign trail time and again, but you pretty squarely lost the Democratic primary to Mr. Mamdani, forcing you, a lifelong Democrat, to run as an independent. When you announced that decision, you said, quote, "When you get knocked down, learn the lesson and pick yourself back up." What lesson did you learn, and what do you feel it said about you?
None. You learned no lessons.
None. Yeah.
Something you did wrong, something that you need to change about yourself?
Yeah, I think in the primary campaign, I did not do enough on social media, which is a very effective medium now. I think the Assemblyman did do a better job on TikTok and social media than I did during the campaign, and that has changed now. I've also increased my activity significantly, but my agenda is exactly the same. I am the Democrat, although I'm not on the Democratic line. He is a Democratic socialist, calls Barack Obama evil and a liar, didn't vote for Kamala Harris.
Okay, bro. It's like schizo.
It's all water under the bridge. Who cares about Obama and Harris? Who cares anymore, dude? Yesterday's news. Nobody cares.
Fight and deliver is, I will fight for people, I will fight the bureaucracy, and I will deliver results. New Yorkers need the mayor to get something done.
You are the bureaucracy.
This is all words and theories. I am a manager who can
This is a
actually
question
get things
about
done.
self-reflection. Is the thing you're reflecting on the most that you need to be on social media more? Was there any other deeper lesson that you
Between the two campaigns, social media,
That was a good clapback from the moderator.
That was good, yeah.
more accessibility.
Okay.
I just have to say, it's been an hour and 20 minutes of this debate, and we haven't heard Governor Cuomo say the word affordability. That's why he lost the primary. That's why he'll lose the general election. You can lie all you want, but the truth is, I voted for Kamala Harris. I'm the only candidate on the stage to have the endorsement of Kamala Harris, and I'm not the one who's funded by Bill Ackman, who called Kamala Harris unqualified to be the vice president of this country.
Like technically, she didn't necessarily 100% endorse Zohran Mamdani. It was rather tacit endorsement, not like an actual endorsement.
Recognized him.
Yeah, she recognized him specifically as the Democratic nominee. not an actual fucking endorsement, of course. Because, I mean, credit to Kamala Harris there. She at least has a slightly better, like, understanding there in that particular case that, and let's be quite honest here, that Cuomo, dead dying fucking brand. Nobody fucking likes him, and that at the very least that, better than the most national Democrats. If, let's be honest here, she were to try to go against Zohran Mamdani, she knows that would be actively quite unpopular with the sort of like mainstream electorate of the Democrats. Like that would not really play well. I mean, she's also partially playing politics there, to, I guess, her credit there, I suppose, but you know, it's a little. She's not going to fully endorse him. She'll just basically say like, yeah, I mean, he's the current Democratic nominee, and I'm going to support the fucking Democratic nominee. She's not going to endorse her, of course. Like, she won't do that.
Yes,
look, there are a lot of New Yorkers who support me, and there are a lot of Jewish New Yorkers who support me because they think you're anti-Semitic. So it's not about Trump or Republican. It's about you.
Do you think he's anti-Semitic?
I don't make those judgments about people. Are you a racist? Are you an anti-Semite? I know there are many Jewish people who believe
you
he's
just
anti-Semitic.
did that, bro. What do you mean? Also, he won with more fucking goddamn with Jewish voters, not you, little bro. Like, cope. He's just massive cope, massive cope.
So yeah, we've been at this for what, like a couple hours at least, I think. Yeah.
We should probably. We should probably try wrapping it up.
Yeah. Wrap it up, Domi.
Wrap it up, Domi.
The globalized intifada, what he has said about Hamas.
But
I can see where they
covered
are
your,
explained.
sorry to interrupt. I covered your speech in the Upper West Side Synagogue where you said anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. There is no difference, and you were talking about Mr. Mamdani. Is that not an allegation?
No, I make that statement all the time. I wasn't referring to Mamdani.
Okay, all right. Mr. Mamdani, a brief response, then we have to move on.
I have denounced Hamas again and again. It will never be enough for Andrew Cuomo because what he is willing to say, even though not on the stage, is to call me, the first Muslim on the precipice of leading the city, a terrorist sympathizer, is to send mailers that artificially lengthen my beard, is to say to New Yorkers that they should be fearful. What I will do
that is true. Those are things that Andrew Cuomo has done. He is a fucking Islamophobe. He is incredibly fucking racist.
I mean, and standing up for himself. I think, he's got a spine.
Mamdani, you are the Democratic nominee, and you're also a member, as we've been discussing, of a political organization that may be less familiar to New Yorkers, the Democratic Socialists of America, which believes in dismantling capitalism. New York City is the global headquarters of the finance industry. So how would you be the mayor of Wall Street and the DSA? You have 1 minute.
I would be the mayor of this entire city, and that means ensuring that the wealth that we generate in the city is also wealth that every single New Yorker can actually feel in their pockets. Because what we have today is a system that has generated the most wealth in the wealthiest country in the history of the world, where 1 in 4 of our neighbors are living in poverty. That's unacceptable. We can't look at 500,000 kids hungry every single night as just the cost of doing business in the city. That's something we have to actually change. And I'm going to do that by fighting for my neighbors in Queens that I've come to know, who are not only the ones who own teapots and toy stores, who own diners and dry cleaners, but also the ones who work there. Because right now, all of them are being pushed out of the city by corporate greed, by private equity, and by a politics that refuses to fight for them. I will finally.
Just a quick follow-up, Mr. Mamdani. A lot of Hispanic that flee socialism and are a little bit scared to hear your policies. What would you tell them?
Well, I would first say that I wouldn't be here without the support of Latino New Yorkers.
Dude, we're gonna do fucking random schizo. Because again, this is just random dumbass fucking schizo shit. Like, who the fuck cares about this complete namby-pamby, pimbly-wimbly fucking bullshit? It's like, dog, there's a reason why he won, because he does not like most of the fucking motherfucking bullshit, okay? And people believe in the fucking policies that he pushes for. Like, again, like, cope and fucking seethe, Jack. It's really just, like, one of those most annoying things possible. It's just like, well, Zohran, have you ever considered that you're stinky and scary to a bunch of other people who basically know nothing about you, but every time we poll them on these, like, particular issues, they end up really liking you? It's like, okay, little bro. It's just stupid.
And it's like, and I remember, like, actually a friend of mine here in LA is like, hey, I saw that Zohran guy. He was eating, like, he's more of a liberal. And so, yeah, liberals, I know. But he was like, oh, that Zohran guy, he was eating with his hands. Don't you think that'll, like, cost him the election? I'm like,
why?
That's
the immediate question. And why?
I'm like, dude, are you, and I literally told him, I'm like, dude, are you really towing the Republican line about him eating biryani with his hands? If it was a burger or a pizza or a taco, you wouldn't be saying anything. Might be a taco, but like.
I can't believe that Zohran is eating a taco.
It's like, I can't believe he's been voting Democrat all his life. And I'm like, really, you're saying that? As a Democrat voter, like, I shamed him for that, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I guess." I'm like, "Yeah, I thought so."
Listen, we love shaming biryani eaters, bro. I can't believe he ate with his hands, dude. No, you can't eat with your hands. That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, that's not allowed. How's that allowed? Yeah, no burgers, dude. 235. We don't need burger. We have kebab and parota. There we go. Kebab and bread. That's better than a burger. Any day of the week. Changed my mind.
And what democratic socialism means is a belief in the dignity of each and every New Yorker and the responsibility city government has to deliver that dignity. That's why I'm speaking about childcare, because it's pricing out New Yorkers from the city. That's why I'm speaking about freezing the rent, because housing isn't a human right in the way that we practice our politics in the city. And that's why I'm talking about making buses fast and free, because 1 in 5 New Yorkers are being priced out of public transit today.
So, Mr. Sliwa, I would like to talk to you because you were here with us 4 years ago in the same stage.
Brain
for the
rot
general election debate,
time.
And you lost it. Why do you believe New York is ready to elect a Republican this time around?
First off, did I not warn you 4 years ago that Eric Adams would be corrupt and we would have chaos? Did I not? Of course I did. And I get praised for that. Now I'm trying to get people to vote for me, not just on the Republican line, but also my wife Nancy, who is the best thing that's ever happened to me, created the first ever independent Protect Animals line, which calls for no-kill shelters and putting animal abusers in jail. But the other thing that differentiates me from both of my adversaries is that I am opposed to the city of Yes, which will destroy the residential neighborhoods. Both of them are for the city of Yes. So when you vote for me, whether on the Republican line...
The city of Yes? What?
I don't know what
I've
that
never
fucking
heard
means.
of this. Is this something? Is this something he said in like 1982?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that means. Whatever.
I
Okay,
don't
bro.
and vote no on all those initiatives. That differentiates me from both of my adversaries is that I am opposed to the city of Yes, which will destroy the residential neighborhoods. Both of them are for the city of Yes. So when you vote for me, whether on the Republican line or the Protect Animals line, turn your ballot over and vote no on all those initiatives and referendums. Imagine, they've said, how can you, Curtis, a Republican, work with a Democratic majority in the council? Adrian Adams is in agreement with me. The Democratic city council people are in agreement with me. No to the city of Yes, which will take your homes and provide you instead with lithium-ion battery warehouses next to your house, which are like mini Chernobyls. I'm the only candidate who is opposed to the city of Yes.
The lithium-ion batteries are mini Chernobyls? Damn, I didn't know that there was a bunch of fissile nuclear material in lithium-ion batteries, dude. Like, what kind of fucking schizophrenic nonsense is this? What, are a bunch of lithium-ion batteries gonna be, like, installed in people's homes for their fucking solar panels and all that? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, Curtis, when a solar panel farm is built, it's gonna be built in the middle of butt-fuck nowhere where there's a lot of sun. New York City and New York is not really known for getting a lot of sun unless they put a bunch of solar panels on top of giant skyscrapers. Like, again, like what kind of like weird schizo shit is this? Like, what are you fucking talking about? It's like, okay, bro, totally. Yeah, honestly, yeah, technically speaking, yeah, Curtis Sliwa is right. We got fucking lithium-ion batteries in our fucking phones in our pockets all the time. Hey, Curtis, are you willing to, like, get rid of your fucking smartphone or something? Oh, there's a lithium-ion battery in there. You're gonna get cancer on your fucking thigh or some shit, little bro. Like, okay. Like, that's so stupid.
You're gonna have cancer fingers before you know it.
It's like the fucking same meme with all these like weirdo motherfuckers who keep constantly talking about like, yeah, dude, if you keep your phone by your fucking ear too much, you're gonna get like super hyper omega cancer. And it's just like, okay, little bro, put the fucking put the random schizo shit away, okay? Like relax, little bro, relax.
He has a Galaxy Note 7. Oh yeah, you remember the ones that would blow up on planes? Yeah, and they're not allowed anymore. Like they will never be allowed on planes ever again.
Maybe Curtis Sliwa wants his Galaxy Note 7 to potentially do like a terrorist attack. Pepe. I'm not saying anything, but I wonder why he has that phone specifically that blows up on fucking airplanes. I couldn't possibly think of anything.
Yeah, you might want to get that fixed before you potentially become mayor, which you won't anyways. But
that's true.
Bring down costs if you don't build more housing.
Oh, it's very simple to build housing. You just look in New York City. We have so many dense areas where you no longer can use the commercial space. There used to be office space, and you just convert it into residential housing. You don't need to go into the outer boroughs. You don't need to use wetlands or parklands, which they seek to do. If you build a new building, it takes 5 years. If you
Okay, so when Zohran's I got to look more into his policy, but when Zohran says he's going to build 200,000 more units of public housing, like I would assume he's going to do that with existing buildings. I mean, New York is already so built up, right? I would assume that's the only thing he could practically do. Right?
Probably. I'd assume so.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of space in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that makes sense to me. I don't know. Again, he's just
saying
old man rambling.
I mean, it's just like random conspiratorial bullshit. It's just like, okay, little bro, whatever. It's like, all right, Grandpa.
I want to change the pace a little bit. I want to change the pace and just get a sense of what you think about political leadership. We're curious about who you admire. Who's the best modern-day U.S. president? Mr. Cuomo?
Modern day? Well, I'm partial. I was Bill Clinton's Housing and Urban Development Secretary. We built affordable housing all across the United States. Empowerment zones. I would say Bill Clinton.
Okay, Mr. Mamdani?
I would say
boy.
FDR.
Mr. Sliwa?
Modern day?
FDR makes sense.
Well, man, I'd say FDR also, if that's modern day.
Mr. Sliwa?
A man that ended up being loved by Democrats and Republicans alike, the greatest governor we've ever had in my lifetime, George Pataki. 3 terms, no chaos, no corruption. He actually beat.
That's not a president.
Was it?
Do you see? I mean, we're talking about a president, modern day president. I mean, okay, whatever. Like,
this is such a
this is such a dumb fucking like media moderator question. Like,
Which president did you guys like? It's like, I don't know, bro. Like, flip a coin.
Yeah. We all know what Trump's would be. Andrew Jackson.
No, it's definitely me. What do you mean? Who's Andrew Jackson?
Me, but Andrew Jackson's a close second fix.
I don't know who Andrew Jackson is. I've heard of like an Andrew before, but like, you know, he's like a guy or something. I don't know. It would definitely be me though.
Oh no! It would be William McKinley because tariff.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we can't forget about his autistic fixation. That's true.
President, is governor and this president Curtis.
Who you thought the best president in our lifetime? Yeah. Or I would say the best president in our lifetime that I've experienced. I would go back to Ronald Reagan.
Okay. How about the best New York City mayor?
Reagan. Okay. I mean,
that makes
he's a
sense.
Republican. He's a Republican.
Yeah.
Best New York City mayor.
Rudy Giuliani, who endorsed me last week. And I got a little bit of Michael Bloomberg thrown in because he liked the responsibility.
I think the best New York City mayor of all time is Fiorello LaGuardia.
Mr. Cuomo.
It was Bill de Blasio last debate.
No, I've always said Fiorello's
What?
Who cares? This is such a nothing burger question. Like, who cares? Who's the best? Like, this is just tier list. This is just tier list.
Guy, okay, top 5 New York City mayors. Ligma Digma Figma. Bill de Blasio. Sugma Nuts. Dabby McDabberson or some shit. Okay, bro, whatever. Yeah, move on. Wrap it up, Domi.
No. My top 5 would be number 1 would be the Wu-Tang Clan. Number 2 would be that dosa guy in Washington Square Park who makes the best dosas in America. Number 3,
Zohran Mamdani.
Yes, Zohran Mamdani, right up there. Number 4 would be, I'm trying to think of an athlete.
Usain Bolt.
Is he a New Yorker? I don't know.
No, just throw him in there. Who cares? It doesn't matter.
yeah. He's a New Yorker in spirit, and you know, he can catch that train really, really fast.
Yeah, exactly.
And then number 5.
My cock.
What would it be? True. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Sliwa never said Eisenhower. Caught. He should have said Eisenhower because Eisenhower was actually the best Republican.
I mean, listen, they're trying to say it's modern day, right? That's like why.
Yeah. Eisenhower's a bit. Yeah. That's. Yeah. You're going back about 70 years at that point. Yeah. Okay. Let's stop at 235. 235 is a foe. Look at this guy.
I agree with being an LGBT foe.
Is it of all time or modern time?
That's New York City mayor.
Of all time, it is Fiorello LaGuardia.
We agree.
Recently, I would say Mayor Dinkins and Mayor Bloomberg.
Okay. How about the political leader, dead or alive, you most admire? Mr. Mamdani?
Bloomberg.
I would say I admire Bernie Sanders.
Mr. Cuomo?
My father.
Mr. Sliwa?
I said it already, George Pataki, who was loved by Democrats and Republicans and the greatest
You don't have to explain it again, bro.
In our lifetime.
All right.
Greatest governor in
I
our
just have one more before Sally starts asking about schools. A show of hands. Who supports Kathy Hochul for re-election?
It's a decision that should be made after this general election.
So no decision. Mr. Cuomo, you handpicked her as your lieutenant governor. No
You have to know who's running.
Yeah. Okay. So.
And I would add that I do think that Kathy Hochul, our governor, has been doing a good job in not only delivering for New York, but also standing up to Donald Trump.
Just what? Do you support for re-election?
I'm focusing on November. I appreciate her support and I appreciate her work.
But you don't endorse her.
How about a shout out?
He doesn't have to.
Bro, why the fuck does this matter? Like, the only other guy we know is, God, what's his name? Something Delgado, who's like a decent progressive from what I understand, right? And that's why her re-election bid's going to be relatively tough, and that's why she is going along with the wins and trying to endorse Zohran Mamdani, because she's trying to basically curtail. She's trying to appeal. That's the term that I'm looking for. The sort of like progressive wave, right? Because of the challenge that she's going to have as well. Like specifically from God, it's something Delgado. I don't remember his name. I'm really, really bad with names.
Yeah, and I should have really looked more into New York politics before doing this. I know, cringe. Yeah, AOC too. I don't know, who would I say? I would probably say
Donald Trump. Obviously, you'd say me, boy.
Obviously, yeah, my favorite president.
I'm
my
the
favorite
greatest president ever. I am the GOAT. You know, there are many people that are saying that I am the greatest president ever since FDR and Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, true, so true. And yeah, I would probably say Ambedkar because I would. We got to make him proud.
Fucking Warpy Ambedkaris over here. That's crazy. Every single time with one meets many.
J-Beam every time. Anyways.
For Lisa Fani to take out Kathy Hochul. So you have a Republican Mayor Curtis, a Republican Governor Stefani, like Giuliani and Pataki to save the city.
Want to talk about schools, Sally?
Okay, thank you, David. Let's turn to education. There are a number of issues facing public schools. One that's been controversial in the campaign is the Gifted and Talented program, which offers accelerated instruction to elementary school children. Mr. Mamdani, you have said that you want to phase out the Gifted and Talented program, while Mr. Cuomo and Mr. Sliwa want to expand it. Mr. Sliwa, we will start with you. What is your plan for the program? You have 1 minute.
Oh, is this like some No Child Left Behind type stuff, but New York?
I mean, we know that universal pre-K was done by Bill de Blasio, right? Which was a significant improvement, yeah. And that's very popular in New York.
Cash App Patel, yeah, true.
Gifted and talented.
Yes, gifted and talented.
I have two younger sons with Melinda Katz, the Queen's DA. They both attempted to get into gifted and talented as 4-year-olds. They failed. It did not present a problem with their future education. We don't have enough slots. Right now, the 1,900. We need to have at least 5,000 slots around the city. What they have not done at the Department of Education is make these tests available in Black and Hispanic communities. So, for instance, you have 77,000 children who are 4 years old. Only 10,000 have taken the test. Only 2,000 are accepted. Why not offer the test to all 77,000? And even if a gifted and talented class only has 3 or 4 in a minority school, give these children an opportunity to excel too. That would make it fair for everybody.
Thank you. Mr. Cuomo, how does your plan differ from Mr. Sliwa's? You also have 1 minute.
Sure.
First, I support mayoral control. I think it would be a terrible mistake to roll back mayoral control. That's probably been the most dramatic educational reform in 40 years. We go back to the old system that had local school boards, which were corrupt, patronage mills, etc. So who runs the system is number one. I would expand gifted and talented programs, accessibility. I'd offer preparatory courses to any student parent that wanted to take them. I'd double the number of specialized high schools from 9 to 18, and I would keep the SAT as it is.
Thank you. And Mr. Mamdani.
Can I add one thing? There's been no discussion about vocational high schools, which save so many young men and women. We need to expand vocational training for those who are not
going to keep going here with Mr. Mamdani. Why should the gifted and talented program be phased out, in your opinion? You have a minute to answer.
So I want to be very clear. I have spoken solely of gifted and talented for kindergartners. I do not believe that kindergartners should be subject to a singular assessment. I have not spoken of any gifted and talented programs older than for kindergarten. I'm solely speaking about kindergarten. And I believe that we should be delivering the best education across the country here in the city. We will do that by following through on the proposals I put forward to hire 1,000 more teachers every single year through our community to classroom program. One that will ensure that we're providing each student, whether they be in high school or someone who is an adult looking to become a teacher, with $12,000.
This is a really good point here, specifically by Zohran Mamdani. One of the biggest problems in Western schools specifically is the fact that the teacher-to-student ratio is as ridiculously high as it is. Because
so big, the classes are too big.
Like 40 to I've even been hearing stories about like 50 students in a fucking class. That's insanity. Like, a teacher is supposed to be accommodating to all of their students and be willing to answer all of their questions and help them when they have problems. You can't do that with a class of 50 students. That's a lot of fucking goddamn students. Yup, Bracelet Brook, in some instances, in like some public schools, there have been like more than 50 students in a fucking class. Like, at least up here in fucking Canada. It is fucking crazy. And like, you're expecting one fucking teacher in order to be able to help take care of like all those people. Like, no, that's actually fucking crazy. Like, there's no fucking shot. And it's because a lot of teachers have been fucking fundamentally underfunded and not getting hired as much. Because let's be fucking honest here, being a teacher is seen as a rather thankless job, and politicians consistently go after not only the teachers' unions, but the unions, but also the teachers themselves by like cutting away a lot of their benefits, cutting away a lot of their pay consistently, as well as going after departments of fucking education. It's a consistent problem. You want to actually solve this issue, fund the educational system. Like, you give it more money. Like, that's what you got to do at this point, because cutting it is only producing worse and worse outcomes.
Yep. Oh, sorry. I was in the middle of the battle.
Deliver on the Class Size Reduction Act, which I was proud to pass in Albany, that will ensure that children and teachers actually have a manageable ratio in that classroom so that they can learn. Because today, that learning is being rendered impossible by the number of kids in that same classroom. It's time to make sure that number is low.
But you don't believe the mayor should run the system?
I've been critical of mayoral control because of the ways in which it's been used to take away the voice of parents, of educators, of students. I think it's important that those same voices be a part of how we lead the system.
So are you for or against mayoral control?
I've been critical of it. I'm against mayoral control, and I think that there's an importance of developing something that actually enshrines all of those voices together.
Mr. Cuomo, you also tried to curtail it when Mayor de Blasio was mayor. Did you hear what she said?
No.
I was saying you proposed a curtailment of mayoral control when Mayor de Blasio was mayor.
There's been multiple modifications of mayoral control.
But some proposed curtailment at your hand, so if you're such a champion of it tonight...
No, I never proposed reversing mayoral control.
No, shortening the duration of time.
I mean, but you literally just brought it up as something that you want to do.
How much control of schools would you be giving up? Is it just a sharing arrangement? I know you want to share with the districts and with parents, or would you be giving up full control? And is that an accountability problem if the buck doesn't stop with you?
I think the mayor needs to...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, like literally, you just proposed that you are okay with the fucking program. You just mentioned in your little fucking spiel. Like, what? Huh? Like
inconsistent policy.
Yeah, you're being a little inconsistent there, buddy. It's
so
like,
stupid,
it's like,
man.
okay, bro. You wanted to curtail it, now you want to bring it back. Well, because in reality, Andrew Cuomo doesn't want to fucking fund education. He wants to give more tax cuts to the rich. That's all he fucking cares about.
Exactly. Okay, that was
the accountability.
I had to fight 3 at once there.
Who they can come to when they have critiques, and I think we also have to develop a system where we don't have what we saw just recently, where you have hours and hours of parents and teachers and students testifying only to be overruled without any consideration by the panel.
Thank you, Mr. Mamdani. I have to move on. Switching now. It's a question for all three of you. Switching to students with learning challenges. Parents of students with dyslexia, ADHD, and autism are very well aware of the fact that the school system in New York City is not doing enough to meet their children's educational needs. How will you help these parents and students? We know that Mayor Adams has expanded evaluations specifically for children with dyslexia. It was an issue close to his heart, but what would you do more broadly, Mr. Mamdani?
I think some of the initiatives that Mayor Adams has launched, especially with this chancellor, have been showing positive signs, especially for literacy and for preparedness, especially as we're in in a national crisis on reading and mathematical comprehension. And I think those are programs that should be furthered, should be invested in, all while also ensuring that we're giving teachers greater flexibility in the curriculum that they're actually teaching. Because what I've heard from many of those teachers is that too often the curriculum that's being procured in the $10 billion a year in DOE contracts is one that has little relation
Thank
to
you, Mr. Mamdani. Mr. Sliwa, you have 30 seconds.
Yes, we have $41,000 that we're spending on each student now. By fourth grade, 2/3 of these children cannot read, write, or do math at grade level. We should be ashamed.
There's a lot of reasons why that is, and that's not to do with the mayor. That's like state and like national curriculum.
Yeah,
so he's not gonna.
It's a lot of federal policy as well. Like quite literally, Trump is trying to do away with the Department of Education like right now as we speak.
Of ourselves with that 100,000 less students than we had last year. 1/3 are truants. We have 200 schools with 200 students or less, and Michael Mogul determines which schools stay open. Eric Adams is not exhibiting mayoral control. The mayor should run the Board of Education, the old Board of Education that is now the Department of Education. The bureaucracy. You have 13 deputy chancellors. You have 50 department heads that suck up all the money, and teachers are still reaching into their pockets to pay for badly needed supplies for the children in the class. The money should be going to the teachers and the children and young adults, and it's not.
Mr. Cuomo, what is your specific plan to deal with the challenges of students with learning differences?
We are losing young families. When the child becomes of school age, they leave the city, they go to the suburbs, they go to New Jersey. They're not going to sacrifice their child on what they think is a secondary education system. The core competency, reading and math, below 50% is a disgrace. The Gifted and Talented programs gives people hope. I do believe Mayor Adams has made progress on the evaluations and services for children who require special needs and assistance, but obviously we have to do more.
So we have another question about improving schools. And in the last year, the schools enrolled more than 36,000 migrant students, many learning English for the first time. From class size to bilingual teachers, that puts a big strain in the system. Mr. Cuomo, what can you do to help migrant students, but also the staff? You have 30 seconds.
Well, first, I think it was wrong of the state to put so many migrants in New York City. New York City had the overwhelming.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, dude. It's all because it's all because of the migrants, little bro. That's why. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, not because
you keep saying that you're going to do something to fight Donald Trump, but I don't fucking know about that one. You saying that it's all because of fucking migrant students? That's the main problem for us. Why there's a bunch of issues with fucking education in New York? Yeah, okay, buddy. Yeah, totally.
Stop it, 235. Anyways, yeah, get Italy. Yeah, I know.
The schools enroll more than 36,000 migrant students, many learning English for the first time. From class size to bilingual teachers, that puts a big strain in the system. Mr. Cuomo, what can you do to help migrant students, but also the staff? You have 30 seconds.
Well, first, I think it was wrong of the state to put so many migrants in New York City. New York City had the overwhelming majority of migrants.
But they're already here.
Close to about 80%. The state should have put them all across the state, Nassau, Suffolk, upstate, so other governments could have also...
Well, they were bused here from Texas. And we have a
yes,
situation
but if
right
they're bused from Texas, you could have brought them to Nassau, 20 miles,
but they're here
Westchester.
Right now, we're asking
yes,
for the current
yes, well, that's how the problem was created.
Okay, we understand
the state put them here, the state gave the city the bill. It has now increased the challenge in our education system. The state is going to have to help financially.
So you didn't answer the question, Mr. Mamdani, is your chance.
You know, when I spoke about our community to classroom program, the importance of it is not just bringing in 1,000 more teachers every year. It's also that we would bring in a number of more bilingual educators. Because what we've heard from a number of adults who have taught in other countries now live in New York City is the process by which they get their certification approved to teach here is one that is onerous and one that is actually pricing many of them out. That's why this is a program that will directly address that, to increase that bilingual capacity in our school system so that we can teach every single child, no matter when they got here.
But Mr. Mamdani, this certification has been offered and it hasn't been successful. So how can you make more teachers to be, like they want to do this?
Part of what I've heard is that the tuition costs as part of the same certification exams are onerous for many of these adults looking to switch careers. That's why this program is built upon providing $12,000 in tuition assistance that would lead to 1,000 more teachers every year.
And also salaries will be a good.
We have not just migrant children.
Good.
We have the children of the homeless, over 120,000. We haven't yet discussed charter schools, parochial schools that are closing. Normally, parochial schools would have been able to take some of these children. We need to expand the number of charter schools that are doing an amazing job, especially in the inner cities. And why not make that available to migrant children and to the homeless children who are coming from shelters all across the city who need the special teaching skills that have lifted children in the charter schools? We need to give choice because that's our most precious resource, our children.
So allow me to now move on into the
I agree on the charter schools.
Thank you, Mr. Cuomo. So allow me now to enter into the sanctuary city situation, and let's talk about also undocumented immigrants. 26 Federal Plaza has become a flagship in federal immigration crackdown. We reported that asylum seekers are showing up for like those routine appointments, not facing any criminal challenges, and they end up being deported. So by the show of hands, we would like to know if you believe that any of you could do something to stop this. Okay. So, Mr. Cuomo, you have a minute to explain us what would you do?
The law is the law, and I would have an attorney assigned to every person who is undergoing any review by the federal government or any legal proceeding, and put the full weight.
But yeah, no, the law is the law, but look what's happening now. Like, this is so ignorant of the current situation with ICE, dude.
Well, no, yeah, because again, here's the thing. Like, you currently have a DOJ hanging over you, and the reason why Trump feels like he can get away with a lot of the bullshit in terms of what's going on with ICE and disregarding of the sanctuary city laws is simply just due to the fact that, let's be quite honest here, Mayor Adams is currently the main fucking guy who's looking for a pardon for his corruption case that Letitia James is bringing against Eric Adams, which is why he is allowing all of the ICE Gestapo freaks to just run around and gallivant about and just cause a bunch of misery for people. Like duh, super fucking like forehead obvious kind of shit here. You currently have a DOJ investigation over you as well. Who's to say that if Trump comes a knocking saying like, hey Andrew, you're gonna let my fucking ICE Gestapo guys come around and start doing some sweeps, are you now? He's gonna start hanging over that fucking DOJ investigation over your head that you probably are gonna want a pardon for because your ass is more than likely fucking guilty. Like, let's be quite honest here. And you're not going to allow ICE in. Also, we all know he's not going to just basically capitulate to literally everything that NYPD wants. And NYPD does not agree with New York's sanctuary city laws. Like, that's also another factor that people have to consider here. Like, the reason why it is as complicated in, say, LA or Chicago or Portland is the police there actually respect those sanctuary city laws. Whereas the NYPD doesn't because they're, well, a worse fucking gang.
Yep. Just with official badges and guns. That's, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah, again, this is all. See, I just want to say, like, listening to this debate, like, this is like all the same kind of stuff or very similar kind of stuff that like Los Angeles has problems with. And that's why I kind of follow this race. People are like, oh, you're not a New Yorker. Why do you care about this? I'm like, everybody in all North American cities cares about this race for a reason. This is the same kind of problems we all have. So
also, New York City is the city of cities. If you think of a city, you think of New York City. Everyone thinks of New York City. Like, don't be fucking ridiculous and stupid like the hypothetical person that we are talking about here. Like, everyone cares about what happens within New York. Everyone around the world also fucking cares about what happens as well. So when people are talking about like, why do you care so much about what happens in New York? You don't live here. Why the fuck do you care? Everyone else fucking cares because a lot of vibe shifts and sort of like what can be dictated throughout fucking New York. It can be a sort of a kind of a tell for a lot of the vibes that are sort of happening within the country. It's a prominent cultural center, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I mean it is like one of the centers of culture of
United States of America.
The U.S. Yeah, of the U.S. and of North America. So is Los Angeles, right? These two cities like kind of have a lot of parallels. I mean, yeah, for all the subway trains New York has, LA has highways, but other than that, like kind of similar. The neoliberal policies that have been affecting us, and just all the same kind of stuff with like corruption, with like I don't need to explain it. I think it's pretty obvious. I know for a fact that all the money in London I mean, it's all like expensive flats. It's all like foreign property ownership and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a lot of real estate, like finance capital bullshit. Very common in London. Speculative real estate bullshit.
Of the city government behind it, and make sure they are legally protected.
Mr. Sliwa, what's your plan?
Look, going after the criminals, that's the job of Immigration and Naturalization Service, ICE. But when they have to perform under a quota, because I speak to many of the men and women who serve this country, it's putting too much pressure to go outside of courthouses, to go Home Depot, shape-ups, or the backs of restaurants and hospitality businesses, which have hired these migrants, and they are essential workers now. I can tell you, I have 3 sons. None of them are going to do that work. Some Americans will, but most won't. We need to protect the migrants who are workers, who are essential workers, and use ICE to go after the drug dealers, the gangbangers, the sexual predators, and those who are sex trafficking and involved in narco-terrorism.
Mr. Mamdani.
Now, I'd be proud to be the first immigrant mayor of the city in generations, and it's at 26 Federal Plaza that I've seen what used to be moments when New Yorkers would be getting their citizenship turn into moments of tragedy, where judges are asking New Yorkers who are there for routine immigration check-in whether they're prepared to leave in the very same clothes that they arrived to that courthouse. I agree that we need more legal representation. I also think we need to actually be able to stand up to Donald Trump, because I heard from Pastor in East Flatbush, Pastor Galbraith, who told me how he accompanied a member of his congregation to 26 Federal Plaza. He sat there as a judge was determining her fate. They managed to convince the judge to replace the deportation order with a TPS order, but they knew that ICE would not care about that change, and they had to sprint her out of the building, smuggling her into the elevator in order to get her back to Brooklyn.
Thank you.
That's really sad, man.
Yeah.
And a pastor of all people, right? It's like typically you think, oh, church pastors, like they're safe in America. It's a Christian country. Well, look what the Christian country is doing. Yeah,
they don't give a shit about any of that stuff. It's bullshit.
Oh, it's a woke pastor, not a real pastor.
They're woke. They're liberal. They're cringe.
Candidates, I want to talk about New York City's economy and change the pace a little bit. Everyone supports growing New York City's economy. The mayor is our chief salesman to the business world. So we want to mix it up, test your persuasive power. So we're calling it an elevator pitch. We'll start with you, Ms. Mamdani. In this scenario, imagine you're...
I hate that line so much. The mayor is the chief salesman. I mean, that just speaks to the level of corruption, right? So I hope he like counters them on that.
Talking to the CEO of a big tech company, deciding to move its headquarters to New York City or to Dallas. The CEO's concerned New York just raised its corporate taxes and employees will pay more for everything. Look into the camera and make your pitch to that CEO to come here and not there. Do it in 30 seconds.
New York City has something that Dallas or no other city across this country could actually offer, and that is the quality of life. That is the arts and the culture. That is the people that make the city so special. And I, as the mayor of the city, will deliver that quality of life, will deliver the safety that is the cornerstone of an affordability agenda, and will ensure that companies choose to come to the city and also choose to stay in the city. Because so much of what drives the tech sector is a hunger for innovation, a unrepenting desire to actually innovate, and those are the very things that are going to characterize my city government in this.
But what do you say to the CEO about the corporate taxes and also the staggering costs for the workers?
We are going to make the city more affordable so that workers who want to work at those companies can actually be able to do so. And we're going to ensure that this city continues to be one where we see businesses opening and also staying open.
All right, thanks, Sal.
Mr. Cuomo, something of a reverse scenario for you. The CEO of a similar company with 1,000 good jobs tells you she's very close to moving her headquarters out of New York City. She cites everything from taxes to the crushing cost of living for her employees in New York City. How do you convince that CEO to stay? Please look into the camera and make your elevator pitch. You have 30 seconds.
We know that the other companies in New York City. I'm sorry.
The question is to me in this camera?
Yes, the question is how you would convince the CEO of a company with 1,000 good jobs who's looking to move out of New York City because of the high cost of living for her employees and taxes. How you would convince her to stay in New York City.
In 15 seconds?
30. Okay. 30 seconds.
Okay. I get it. I understand your frustration. I understand that the far left has been raising taxes and making businesses. The DSA, the
yeah, dude, because of the DSA that's currently in power. This is a fucking clown shit, bro.
The DSA
we have to blame the left. I had no idea the DSA are the main guys who are dictating fucking policy and not the mayor of New York. Like, Cope and fucking C, dumbass. Like, what a
mayor,
complete fucking clown, dude.
Yeah, Eric Adams.
Yeah, Eric Adams is currently DSA, guys. DSA. Oh, go crazy. Whoa, I had no idea, guys.
Make up your mind, Andrew.
Socialist orientation. We're not socialists. Didn't work in Venezuela, didn't work in Cuba, didn't work here. We know that we have to work with business. We want to be your partner. We want to have taxes that help us grow our city, but are competitive for you. And we want to partner to grow your business and our city together.
Mr. Sliwa, let's talk about business, because let's assume the big tech company that we pitched to Mr. Mamdani earlier has decided to move to New York, and it's 1,000 good paying jobs, and the CEO wants to be based in Astoria. But there's a loud pushback of residents who don't want the noise and the traffic. How can you convince the residents to accept the new neighbor? You're speaking to a very powerful community. How can you convince them?
But we saw that with Amazon. Amazon wanted to come in, and AOC led the charge, and local elected officials to say to Amazon. That was a big mistake. I would say this: our companies are being recruited.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, because like people want to have like those complete utter like dog shit fucking non-union fucking jobs, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah, everyone wants to have Amazon jobs that are like where you're expected to piss in a cup if you are away from the fucking line for too long. You're gonna face some fucking goddamn punishment. Yeah, totally. Those are the kinds of jobs that New Yorkers want.
Away by the day. We have young people who are going to school here who could fill their needs in these high-tech industries who also are being lured away. We need to cut their income taxes for 5 years. Tell them if you go to school here, graduate here, no income taxes for 5 years. It's an income tax holiday. And the most important thing, we have to be able to assure the executives that this will be a city where we don't lock up toothpaste any longer, but lock up the criminals who make it intolerable to have a good quality of life.
We need to move on to a subject
that was the Democratic Socialists of America that stopped Amazon and cost us 25,000 jobs. So
Thank you, Mr. Cuomo. We need to move on to a crisis that is very important to a lot of voters, and that is people struggling with mental health problems. Roughly 500 times a day, someone calls 911 about an emotionally disturbed person. And in a limited number of those cases, when the person is not believed to be violent, social workers are dispatched instead of police. Mr. Mamdani, you want to do that on a much larger scale. So we want to know, how will this work? When will you send police versus social workers? You have 1 minute.
You know, we have a program here in New York City called Be Heard that is attempting to do this kind of work, but we've had a mayor who has ensured that it's been unsuccessful, to the extent that even when there was an assessment of about 60% of calls that could have been addressed by Be Heard instead of the NYPD, Be Heard was not actually responsive to it. And that's because we haven't had the political will to deliver on what is a crisis that affects so many New Yorkers, which is the mental health crisis. What my plan will do, an innovative plan, the Department of Community Safety, will take what has worked elsewhere in the country, a program in Eugene, Oregon, where they took 24,000 911 mental health calls out of the police department. They were able to respond to all but 311 without police assistance. When there is a concern for safety or violence, absolutely, you would have the police there. But what we are doing today is actually ensuring that every single call is going to the police and not allowing them to do the work that they signed up to do.
How will you determine whether there is a concern for safety or violence? What is the line between the calls in which police will be dispatched and the calls to which social workers will be dispatched?
The line is also going to be one focused on violence and the threat of violence. And I also trust the officers will be receiving those calls to make that determination, as they do every day today for so many emergency services.
And just 2 really quick points, please. There has been a lot of discussion that you would send social workers to domestic violence calls, which police are concerned about. So you're saying no, okay. And then the other question is, how can you be sure that a situation that does not sound violent,
that's a lie, by the way. Didn't Zohran Mamdani also indicate that if the social worker needs the fucking police officer there, that he will let the fucking police officer go? It's all based off of the determination of the fucking goddamn social worker. Again, instead of having the police be the main ones making that determination, he's saying that the social worker is the main person who has to make that determination. Like, it's just so fucking stupid. No, we have to have the police. The police needs to be the main guys who, I don't know, constantly go after the mentally ill and the homeless. Of course, it's like, okay, little bro.
Yeah, that's totally worked for like years and years. It's totally worked, y'all.
Yeah, very, very effective.
It's funny, these people say, oh, we put a lot of police, you know, there's still so much crime in the city. If we just put more police, there'll be less crime. It's like, dude,
we need more police.
Recognize the pattern.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Just forehead. We need more police. Yeah.
Forehead, more police. Look, guys, more police. That's always going to fix the problems.
Assigned as backup.
I think what you do is you actually follow the experts that have shown us this can work when you're willing to ensure that you're trusting the mental health experts who have been doing this work elsewhere in the country, where they call for the police when they need the police, but their initial impulse when there's no violence in that call is to actually address the mental health at the heart of it.
Okay, Mr. Sliwa, you have encountered plenty of these types of situations in your decades of work with the Guardian Angels, so do you see this approach working? You're not a police officer, but you've helped out in situations.
Zohran, boy, another fantasy that's not reality. Eugene, Oregon. Have you ever been to Eugene? I've been to Eugene. Come on, this is New York City. We have so many emotionally disturbed persons that are in need of help. And we'll tell you this, Andrew, you closed the mental health beds that were taking care of them. 40,000 when you came into office, down to 4,000 because of your cuts, which forced these people to live in the streets, in the parks, and the subways. These people need to be removed. They need mental health care. We need to make our shelters safe. I've been in 1/3 of the 300 shelters run by the Department of Homeless Services. It's Darwinian there, survival of the fittest. If we can make our shelter system safe, we can get men and women who are homeless in there, especially veterans who we're not giving any attention to, who we put out at Ward's Island at 10 o'clock at night, release during the day, don't give any training, have them roam about, and obviously if you have nothing to do, you end up getting into trouble.
So the main reason why that's being brought up in fucking particular, you fucking dumbass, is simply just due to the fact that, that's an example where what Zohran is proposing fucking worked. Like, it's just like, yeah, this is a policy that is effective, so we can just do that. Like, it's so... I mean, it's so fucking goddamn stupid. Every single fucking time with these motherfuckers. It's just like, we can't do... listen, we gotta do everything punitive to the mentally ill and the fucking homeless, because, you know what? Fuck them. Who cares? Shouldn't have been homeless, motherfucker. Should have just made, like, millions of dollars being, like, a radio show host or some shit.
Yeah, get good. Skill issues. Yeah,
skill issue, dude. Just make money, forehead. It's like, yeah, dude, totally. Like, everyone would want to make money if they fucking could. It's so fucking stupid.
A disastrous, homeless, and emotionally disturbed plan that we have in New York City. And I'm the mayor that can change it because I deal with them every day in the streets, in the parks, and the subways.
Okay, Mr. Cuomo, do you think that the NYPD handles these calls for emotionally disturbed people in distress well? Is there room for something in the middle?
Yeah, I think the Assemblyman deals in theory. There's an advantage when you actually have experience. I've run homeless programs. I ran the homeless programs for the federal government. I worked with cities all across the nation. When you get a call on a telephone about a mentally ill person who may be violent, it is a very dangerous situation. And I think you should have a mental health worker accompanied with a police officer, because these can be explosive situations. I have been.
That's literally what
Zohran just said, dude. Like, he said that. Like, okay, bro.
Where are the listening skills, man? Where are they?
In situations that seemed apparently calm and fine, and then erupted into violence very quickly, and it got very dangerous very quickly. So I would have a social worker with a police officer and get the people off the streets. That's the humane thing, and get them the care they need. Not institutionalize 40,000 people again. We have supportive housing now, which is what we use, and forensic beds for people who need them.
Let me get this straight. A police officer is there first. He has to wait for the arrival of a mental health.
No, I would send them as a team.
As a team, but that's not realistic. You're dealing with fantasy also. The police officers are going to be the first one on the scene, and they're always going to have to deal with it first and foremost.
Mr. Cuomo says that he has experience running homeless programs. What he has experience doing is cutting funding for the very programs that prevented homelessness here in New York City. As the governor, he cut funding for the Advantage program, which was putting New Yorkers who had otherwise been in shelters, otherwise been homeless, into apartments. I met one of those New Yorkers who told me how to push around.
He's talking about a program 14 years ago that was a pilot program that had a work requirement. It was very controversial. It was $65 million.
I wonder why it was a work requirement.
Controversial. Work requirements.
Yeah.
Wonder why people don't like the fucking work requirements. It's again, same neoliberal fucking dog shit from the Andrew Cuomo as always. It's all fucking means tested fucking LARP cope bullshit.
You're talking about Advantage, just so we know what you're talking about?
It was 14 years ago, $65 million. I added billions to the homeless budget. Funded the homeless budget larger than any governor in history.
Okay. He cut that program. Homelessness skyrocketed.
Mr. Mamdani, we aired this 14 years ago.
All right.
It was during the Bloomberg administration, and yes, okay.
Okay. I want to ask you about climate change. As New York City confronts the impact of climate change, one issue already on the desk of the next mayor is Local Law 97. Passed in 2019, the law requires large buildings to gradually reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 2030. That may require very expensive upgrades to buildings, which some landlords and co-op owners say they just simply can't afford. We're wondering how each of you would enforce the law. You have 30 seconds, Mr. Cuomo.
Local Law 97, I support. Implementing the law is going to be the key, because it has to be done in a way that isn't so disruptive to businesses and residences that they just give up and pay the fine and don't even try to comply, which is what is going to happen now. It will be cheaper for them to pay the fine than comply, and that obviously will accomplish nothing. So, yes, I support the law. Yes, we have to implement it, but we have to implement it in a way that is feasible.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Cuomo. Mr. Sliwa?
Local 97 will destroy those people who have invested in co-ops and condos. There's 100,000. It's forcing them to electrify. Now, you, Andrew Cuomo, took Indian Point offline, 25% of our electrical capacity with no replacement, which has caused skyrocketing electricity bills, and now we're going to force condo and co-op owners to electrify.
I'm guessing Indian Point is a coal power plant.
I'm not sure. Yeah,
was talking about it. I'll have to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
Maintenance fees will go up 30%. These people will be leaving their condos and co-ops. They need relief. When I'm mayor, I slow that process down. We need our co-op owners and condo owners to stay here in New York City.
Indian Point. Yeah. Indian Point was started before me. It was a very dangerous situation. We have nuclear facilities upstate, and from the nuclear facility.
That makes. I mean, I guess. I wonder if it's like an old reactor from like the 3 Mile Island era.
Maybe.
It was a very dangerous situation. We have nuclear facilities upstate, and my proposal on what I did is run cables from the nuclear facilities upstate to bring the power to downstate. Indian Point had 20 million people in the kill zone.
Thank you, Mr. Cuomo. Mr. Mamdani, local law 97, how would you enforce the laws, Mayor?
I support the law, and I would also make it easier for condo and co-op owners to comply with the law, because what I've heard from so many is that it's cheaper to pay the fine than to actually get into compliance. And I think the city has a role here in procurement at a large scale of so much of what is necessary in these infrastructure investments. We've seen it be done in the Clean Energy Challenge within NYCHA. It's time to do it right here in New York City to assist those condo and co-op owners in meeting the standards we desperately need to hit.
Okay, gentlemen, New York City loves its parades, and the mayor is often front and center. You have all said that you want to be mayor for all New Yorkers. So will you march in all the parades that mayors have traditionally marched in?
Why would they say no?
Sliwa might. For, like, Pride Parade? He might.
Okay. Yeah, and Zohran, he loves his parades.
I mean, he already went to the New York Pride Parade, right? Like, he's already been at one, holding the trans flag.
Then he does all the ones for like the various like international communities and diasporas that have their parades. Like, yeah, he goes to all of them. So.
Or are there any that you would boycott, Mr. Sliwa?
I think a mayor has a responsibility, whenever possible, to march in parades, to celebrate whatever that parade is performing at. I've been a Grand Marshal of the Pulaski Day Parade. I was proud to celebrate.
Are there any that you would boycott, though? I just need to move this along. Would you boycott any of the city's parades?
Be available to all racial, ethnic, and religious groups.
No, I wouldn't unless they discriminated.
Okay, Mr. Mamdani.
There are many parades that I would not be attending because I'd be focusing on the work of leading the city.
Which parades?
A number of them. I've already missed a number of those parades because I've been trying to speak to as many audience as possible.
Okay.
I don't have the list of all the parades I've missed.
Wow, that's a lot. Mayors should be going to all parades.
Let me ask you this. Are there...
That, yeah, I mean...
Okay, bro.
I don't know. I mean... Is this a miss from Zohran? I don't know. It's probably just like I think what he's going for there. He's like, look, I'm a mayor who actually wants to get the job done, not just like sit there and do nothing, and just revel in my power. I guess maybe that's what he's going for. I don't know.
Yeah,
whatever. It's a nothing burger.
It's
question.
a nothing burger question. Yeah.
Any parades that don't exist that you think should? Mr. Mamdani?
I haven't thought much about parades, to be honest with you.
Mr. Cuomo?
I have not thought. I don't even know what parade doesn't exist.
Could be for anything. Mr. Sliwa?
Every parade has the right to exist in New York City. I would ask you, Mr. Mamdani, would you protect the Christopher Columbus statues that exist here in the city?
I'm telling you, my focus is on affordability. I'm not thinking about
You're not answering the question.
Yeah, he
You're not answering
did
the
wave the finger
it's an
to the
irrelevant
Columbus Day
question.
statues. That's what we call it.
Not taking the bait. We love Zohran.
Yeah. Who cares about the stupid dumbass fucking statues? Like, most New Yorkers do not like fucking Christopher Columbus to begin with. Again, like. We have to rep the incredibly unpopular policy of being for a freakazoid who killed a bunch of indigenous people for whatever fucking reason. And, like, I don't know, these, like, weirdo freaks his mind for some reason. It's like, okay, bro.
I think, how close are we? Oh, we're right at the end. Okay.
We're
there. We thought we'd have some questions. We thought we'd have some questions that maybe give a glimpse into your life, your personality away from the political podium. What's your go-to breakfast order at the bodega? Mr. Sliwa?
Oh, eggs and cheese on a roll. No salt, please.
Mr. Cuomo?
Same thing. No salt also.
Mr. Mamdani?
Egg and cheese on a roll with jalapenos.
No.
Have you ever purchased anything in a cannabis shop?
Jalapenos. Okay, that gets my vote. Yeah, there you go.
I like
no salt. What
jalapenos, folks. We love jalapenos.
Yeah. Yeah, no salt. Why no salt? I don't understand that. That's crazy. Yeah. Have you ever seen that one meme? I think I sent it to you of somebody who made a Cracker Barrel version of the Gadsden flag, and it's a snake on top of a barrel, and it says "Don't season my food."
Can't say I've ever seen that before. Boy Meets Minute.
I'll send it to you. It's a good one. Yeah, it came out of the whole the logo change fiasco. That's pretty funny.
Okay, gotcha. Huh?
Yeah.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah.
And if so, what did you buy, Mr. Mamdani?
I have. I purchased marijuana at a legal cannabis shop.
Okay. Mr. Cuomo?
Based.
No. Mr. Sliwa?
When I was shot 5 times and I got Crohn's disease, I did use medical marijuana. Yes.
Okay. In a dream scenario, we know it's not possible, but the Mets are playing Game 7 of the World Series on the same night as the Knicks are playing Game 7 of the NBA Championship, and you can only go to one. Which one will it be, Mr. Sliwa?
Again, which baseball team?
This is the Mets, Game 7, Knicks, Game 7.
I'm not going to the Mets game. I'm a Yankee fan. True baseball fans either like one or the other. I'm going to the Knicks.
Cringe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's my team, the Knicks.
Mr. Cuomo?
I'm going to go half and half. I can make it back and forth.
All right. Mr. Mamdani?
This is what New York is a sick of. Just pick a team.
What's
Come
your
on.
answer?
I'll be there for the Knicks.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of ground covered. Leave it on that light note. Thank you.
That's a really good point, actually, there by Zohran Mamdani. The fact that, again, it's like you pick a team, just make a decision. And that's why, like, it's a broader sort of just, like, look into. Like, I mean, that may seem like a very, very fucking irrelevant question. But that's exactly why people do not like what fucking Andrew Cuomo is selling in particular. Because he's just, like, a whiff-waffly little fucking dipshit. And nobody wants whiff-waffly little fucking dipshits. Like, it's actually a pretty good call out there, specifically by Zohran Mamdani. It's like, just pick a fucking team. No one's gonna get, like, upset or offended if you're, like, not wanting to go to a particular fucking team's game or some shit. It's like, yeah, you just pick one, forehead. Like, that's actually like, listen, that may seem like a fucking nothing burger fucking question, but it's just like, well, no, that's just not how that works. Everyone knows that you're not going to go to both games at the same time. Some people will because they have the resources to be able to afford to do that. But with like people like Andrew Cuomo, we know that he can do stuff like that. But not everybody else can do shit like that, which is the main reason for as to why a lot of people see Andrew Cuomo as being an out of touch fucking elitist weirdo specifically. So it's just like, yeah, dude, totally. Like, you're definitely going to be the type of dude who cares about going to both fucking goddamn games. Yeah. I sure do believe you.
Yeah. I mean, he'll get the VIP box both times. We know.
1,000%.
All right, this has got to be the end.
We've got a lot out of it. New York City viewers, New York City voters, the New York City Campaign Finance Board. We thank heartily, and we urge you to check out their.
Okay. All right, we're finally done. Oh my goodness. Oh, I can stop sharing now.
Hooray! It's so over. Nice. I would say that Zohran Mamdani did do pretty well. You know, I was expecting Sliwa to do way more fucking attacks on Andrew Cuomo specifically. I was not expecting him to just like I don't know, like sit there and just like take it sitting down. Like I was probably expecting him to also attack Zohran quite a little bit, but I was expecting way more attacks on Cuomo because Cuomo more so appeals to a lot of the demographics that Sliwa is trying to go after. Not so much like Zohran voter is not going to be wanting to vote for specifically people like Sliwa, which was interesting.
Yeah, there's some like weird parallels between those two, but yeah, I don't know. It just yeah.
Well, I mean, in terms of like honesty, we can say that Sliwa is definitely more honest than people like Andrew Cuomo. That I can believe. He has definitely more fucking integrity than someone like Cuomo. Like I don't disagree with that whatsoever. He's still like a conservative dipshit and a fucking grifter. That I can definitely agree with. But in terms of people who would, let's say, be, because I mean he's like basically turned down 7 different instances of being paid millions of dollars in order to basically just leave and get out of the fucking race. He's turned it down each and every single time. So it makes sense to me that he probably has a bit more integrity. He's just like a weird nationalistic, like conspiratorial dipshit. Like, I mean, he's still a right winger at the end of the day, right? Well, anywho, generally overall, like, Andrew Cuomo is Andrew Cuomo. He just made himself look like a complete, like, whiny little fucking weirdo complaining about irrelevant fucking bullshit. Curtis Sliwa was like a weirdo, sort of conspiratorial moron. I'm not sure if this is going to necessarily move the needle all that much, in particular for any candidates. I'm kind of inclined to want to say no. I don't think it's really going to change much of anything, but it's one of those situations like, wait and see if it exactly plays out like people may think, but I don't necessarily believe it's going to really move the needle, in particular for any, like, one of these candidates. I mean, we all know still that, like, people like Eric Adams' names are still going to be listed on the ballots, for example, because he left the race outside of the a deadline for him to be able to take his name off. So I mean, that's a thing that's also happening. So it's just like, okay, whatever. And that's gonna cut into a lot of these like vote totals for both Sliwa and for Andrew Cuomo. But yeah, in terms of like the relative sort of moving of the needle, I don't necessarily see that this is going to do well that much. I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's pretty much said and done. Yeah, I think Zohran Mamdani is your next New York City mayor. I think he's going to be somebody who like really makes that necessary shift in the Democratic Party. I feel going to give more confidence to people like Graham Plattner, people like I'm trying to think of like I guess Grijalva. I mean, she already won, but like,
I mean, Kata Bugazela, fucking Omar Fateh. People like that.
Yeah. So so Omar Fateh in Minneapolis. Yeah, you've got. I'm trying to think. There's that one. He's like an independent and he's progressive on a lot of things. That one cattle rancher in West Texas who's running for governor. So I forget his name. but like he's like better than Beto O'Rourke in a lot of things. Or Beto O'Rourke is how you say. I almost said Beta O'Rourke. Funny. But yeah, just generally speaking, I think this debate sort of showed people that the old way, the sort of Clintonite, sort of Clinton era Democrat Party is officially over. I think
it's very unpopular.
You saw it in you saw it in Cuomo's responses, some of the questions that were being asked by the moderators too. Like I think it shows that. So
yeah, we'll see what happens. Like at this point, we just have to wait and see what happens specifically with the election. No, it's not long from now.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how this went. My brother from India, Zohran, did it right. He's dude.
Yeah, I think probably it's like people already at this point, I think, have their minds more or less made up, and I don't think there's going to be this provided all that much of a change. Sort of like, I don't think there's going to be much change. I'll be honest.
I agree, but yeah, it was good. It's good to react to this one.
Well, anywho, I guess like an overall sort of conclusion is.
Sorry.
Yeah. Overall sort of like conclusion is, is the needle going to be changed on this? Probably not all that much, and at this point, just gonna have to be wait and see how this all plays out in about 2 weeks, right? I think that's pretty much where we're gonna come to a conclusion. In terms of like Zohran's positions, I think he did fine. I think also. I don't know, like, I don't think much is going to change for Curtis Sliwa, because at this point, it's just going to be, like, a fight between Curtis Sliwa and fucking Andrew Cuomo for fucking voters. That's really about it.
And Sliwa is such a pariah, dude, like, for most New Yorkers. Like, people just think he's a weirdo, unku.
Yeah, but, I mean, he's going to appeal to all the Republican voters who's, Andrew Cuomo needs more and more. Like, let's be honest here, in order to be able to win, so... Why do you think like every single like Zionist freak, for example, is advocating for Sliwa to drop out, including other fucking conservatives have been advocating for Sliwa to drop out? It's because they know Andrew Cuomo needs those fucking conservatives in order to be able to win.
Yep,
that's why.
Amazing.
But yeah, I don't think there's really much else to say besides I mean. I still think that Zohran's still, broadly speaking, a very, very good position to win. So yeah, it's just merely a matter of just waiting and see what happens.
Yep. And I guess, one last thing. I think this sort of, I think he sort of also shows, I think Zohran really has put on like a masterclass for how to communicate to the general public, right? He has put on a masterclass and then some with regards to that. So,
yeah, exactly.
I think, and again, a lot of people, I guess the terminally online lefties, but even some offline, they seem to think that, everybody's just going to automatically agree with my position because I'm pro-human rights. It's like, no, people mostly act out of self-interest, unfortunately, right? In our modern capitalist world, people act out of self-interest, and so they're not going to may necessarily see it from a human rights perspective. That's not the first thing they're going to think about, and that's why I think
it's all going to be
Zohran.
That's why do you think the Democrats talk about quote unquote kitchen table issues?
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, it's that.
Yep.
It's whatever.
You start there, and then from there you can talk about human rights and all that. But you have to provide that context of how you have to provide. I think if you put it in the context of what will benefit what's in it for me, basically. If you put it in that context, that's a great place to start for a lot of people.
Well, it's also a reason why there's a reemergence of all this like anti-woke bullshit, for example, as well, because a lot of Democrats would hide behind woke issues, generally speaking, as sort of a way to be like, oh yeah, why are your grocery bills getting worse? Why are your material conditions getting worse? It's because of like stupid like woke signifiers, and no one's like focusing on all this other fucking bullshit. It's always been used as like a deflection, specifically from people like the Democrats. They don't actually care about those issues as well.
Yeah, and then when you talk about kitchen table issues, you can't deflect. You have to
hit it head on. Address it head on. But yeah, Zohran Mamdani, I think he did overall quite well in the debate. I'm trying to see, like, maybe he wasn't like 100% like clear on certain answers, but it's ultimately for a lot of issues that I don't think really matter all that much. Like, for some of the like stupid bullshit. Like because I don't see like any of Cuomo's attacks really landing. I'll be quite honest. Same with like a lot of bullshit that Sliwa says.
Yeah, I mean, you could say, oh, Zohran like answered, this and that, kind of weird. Whatever. It's not going to affect the outcome.
Yeah,
it's not.
But yeah, I don't think there's really much else to say besides I still think it's basically like locked in for Zohran. I think that's about it.
Yeah. New York, you're doing it right.